We'll run that for a while. We're good with it. Let's go.
Bro, we were live already when you did that.
I can never fucking tell with you whether we're going live or we're fucking running a stupid goddamn test.
Bro, I push like the thing, and then I push live. You didn't see it say going live?
No, I don't look at that. Like, it's not worth the time with you.
Let's be professional.
Us professional? Since when?
I'm joking.
I didn't get the memo.
I'm gonna shout out the sponsors while you get your USR updates together. What's up, Dee Dee? What's up, Noel, Tucker, everybody here in the chat. We're gonna shout out the sponsors. We got Reptile Crew, of course, and then I got my new shirt in the mail. Yes, sir, Reptile Crew. And then we got Ship Your Reptiles, which I got my tattoo right here. Ship Your Reptiles for life, baby. And then CMB Reptiles. That's Levi's. Go ahead, Levi. Say CMB.
That's CMB, right there, baby. That's a fam all day, every day, bro.
CMB.
Just number one captain bread shop in the nation, undisputed.
And we got KC Reptile Labs. For substrate, use our code Flexin. You get 10% off. And then we got SB Reptiles. Josh, who still hasn't sent Levi a shirt. Eventually he will. And then, of course, the sponsor, Newton Republic, for the logos and the USR shirt that we just dropped. That shirt is $35. That's shipped it. And then what the money goes towards USR. Yeah, ship it. Bro, don't correct my language. That's how I speak.
You and I speak it. Friends. Y'all on the same level, dog. Anyway.
I speak it that way.
So, the USR update, man, I missed this update. I didn't see this come through. That's really disappointing. And Ann Arbor, the ordinance passed. So, anybody in Ann Arbor, man, that's tough, bro. That ordinance passed, and looks like only one person spoke up. So, instead of doing like a let's go over all the alerts, because I mean that's the only alert. Let's talk about like a loss like this, right? Because the haters are gonna hate, and well, one person spoke up from USR, the representative that was there to represent the industry, and then one person showed up on our side. Like I don't get it. Michigan, where are you at?
Sleeping. Wait, Detroit, Michigan. Isn't that where Barchak and Med?
I didn't say Detroit. I said Ann Arbor. But regardless, it's in Detroit. It's in Michigan. It's not Detroit, but still, I mean, it's a neighboring place. Like, come on. That's all I really have to say about that. Just where's the industry? We're all over Samson. We're all over the drama. We're all over bickering and fighting with each other, but we can't show up to support this place. Anyways, I digress.
Bro, like I said, honestly, what are we gonna do when we lose our animals? Like, people say, no, it's not gonna happen, but what if it does? What if it does, guys? What if?
That's kind of where I'm at, man. Like, we can't let anything slide because now it's a win that the government has in their pocket, man.
But
FWC celebrating, and now we're kind of sitting back on our heels. You know what I mean? Don't matter how small the win is, they're gonna take it. They're eating that up like fucking ramen noodles.
Of course. I mean, what are we gonna do? We can only do so much. Like Vanessa said, all we can do is just keep getting members, keep talking about USR. Do what we do, bro.
Yeah, this is facts. Facts. All right, man. Let's run this thing. Let's do it.
All right. Who's ready, guys? Y'all ready for Keno? Who's ready? I want to see those comments. Let's go. That's not Bosa. It's Keno. But anyways, we're gonna go. We're gonna run the intro and let's get it popping, bro. Let's go. Let me see. I gotta make sure I push the right one.
What's good, gentlemen?
What's, whoa.
What's that word, everybody? What's going on, y'all? What's
What's
up,
up,
gentlemen?
everybody? Welcome to Sexin and Flexin Live Sunday. Of course, co-host Levi over there from FTL Reptiles, and we got Keno from Windy City Chondros. Let's go.
What's up,
What's up,
Keno?
y'all,
How's it
man?
going down there, bro?
Oh, it's good, man. In Chicago, we finally starting to get some good weather, man.
Bro, you're
Real
wearing a
good.
hoodie outside, it looks like.
Oh no, I'm good. I'm in the air conditioner. I'm in the finest air conditioner. I just wear this hoodie because it's my logo.
Oh, that's badass.
Oh yeah, that's my logo. It's a 1-on-1, but we finally getting some good weather, man. And you know what? The people with chondros, that good weather mean good pictures. So finally taking snakes outside.
Absolutely, man.
I'm excited to chat with y'all tonight, man.
Man, we were
Who else?
talking about the dark humor that Gio be posting up, bro.
That boy be on some. That boy be on some next level shit, bro.
Hey, look, if y'all
That's what
get
I just told him.
the green circle of death is for that.
Bro, yeah, he added me to that. I was like, what the fuck? That shit was funny as fuck, bro.
The what?
That green circle of death that he's talking about? Tell him.
It's the green circle of death, man. That's where all like the not reptile related shit go.
Oh
you
shit. Okay, so
get
okay.
roasted up in there, somebody else can get roasted. It can be multiple roasts going on. It's funny
Look,
shit,
Keno,
man.
I have a question. I'm gonna start dropping the questions. I'll go
Go
first.
ahead, come on, what's up?
Man, I want to know like your story, like what led you to Chondros, your backstory.
Shit, cause my mama ain't let me have no snakes, man. I couldn't have no snakes as a kid. It was no. And like crazy, it was crazy because we had everything else. I mean, like at one time, we had probably had two iguanas, two birds, a couple 40-gallon fish tanks, maybe a dog, a couple rabbits. Um, Maybe in our room we had maybe a gerbil, a couple frogs, maybe a gerbil, a hamster in her room or something. So we always been like a super animal, I guess, eccentric ass family. But the snakes was no. The snakes were the no go. So when it was time for me to branch off and do my own thing, fuck that. You know, it was I went heavy on the snakes. I went
That's
heavy on the
badass.
snakes. Damn, my fault, man. That went heavy on the snakes, man. But honestly, I ain't hopped right in the green trees when I did though. My, my first snake was a corn snake. His name was George. He was like a snow corn snake, and I bought him on the whim, just seeing that being at the store, impulse buy. And I raised him up. Eventually, I sold him when he got like four, because it was like 4 or 5 years of me studying green trees, and I just so from there on in, I was on in.
Damn, bro. So you like already had a plan? Like you were just gonna go all green trees?
No, that wasn't the plan.
No.
No, the plan was just to have snakes. Because remember, I was free. I left the nest at 18. As soon as I cut 18, I got up out that jam. And I got turned on to green trees, man. I did like 4 years of research on green trees before I even got my first one. Looking around, reading, and back then there wasn't as much. It was we had literature, but it wasn't YouTube pages dedicated to it. So, man, shout out to this guy named Q Gay Jason. I know the name sound weird, but back in the day, he was breeding. He was breeding, and he was one of the main ones broadcasting on YouTube consistently. And looking back, he was kind of ahead of his time with like skits and doing YouTube videos weekly and all that shit. But what he did was that and combined with the MVF. The MVF was like a huge, and I always talk about that because that sent me back to my roots and shit. I'm a young dude in the green tree shit, but I'm an OG at heart because I feel like I read a lot and learned a lot. And I put that work in. I was watching videos and shit. This is before I even had a green tree, man. So I ain't jump right in. I definitely didn't jump right in.
Yeah, because they take like a long time to establish.
Yeah. Well, then back then too, I ain't had the money for it. It was prices was cheaper, but back then it seemed expensive compared to now. So like me buying an import for like $4.75 shit to my house, that was a baby, farm bred baby. That was unheard of. That would probably be unheard of now. But that's what happened then, and I had like $600 or $700 or $1,000 to buy the captain bread and designer prices back then.
Yeah, so I was at the expo show and I was walking by a ball python table. I
Yeah,
know we're talking about chondros, but I was like back then. I remember when a pied was like 1,000 something. Now they're like what $350.
yeah. Sometimes they cheaper than that, $150.
I was
So
like,
Yeah,
it's
but
crazy to
you
see the prices how the prices changed on ball pythons. Because I remember going and it was seeing ball pythons for like 40, 50K.
mm-hmm.
yeah, but you don't see that in the green tree pythons though. Like no matter how many captive bred are hitting the market right now, they're not dropping. If anything, they're staying the same and then going up because you're pushing out more high quality items. Like they're not available in mass quantities like the ball pythons are. You throw a rock, you can hit
True,
a ball python breeder. You got to throw a fucking mountain to hit a green tree python breeder.
true.
True.
And you gotta throw two mounds to hit a good one, like a consistent one. So somebody
No,
that's
for real.
actually
For one
putting
that's
out quality.
you could even say one that's having a good season. You know what I mean? Because you all have like ups and downs. Like no matter how perfect the breeder, like even Bill Stiegel is going to have his off seasons, and that's
Yeah,
something like no disrespect to the ball python breeders, but that's not really something they have to face to the level that a green tree python has to face, right?
yeah, yeah. I agree. You talking to somebody who my first clutch completely should the whatever you want to call it and failed. So
Oh shit. Okay.
it
Well,
ain't it
let's
ain't
talk about it. What happened?
well. So my first clutch, the breeding was last year. That was the pairing I did. It was a pure Cyclops pairing, two red Neos, and that's Cyclops. You probably gonna hear me talk about that a lot. Uh, Anytime you see me on interviews, like speaking about my own stuff, because that's what's gonna be the base of what I do, long term.
Okay.
And so I had the pairing going. Everything went according to plan. And when I say that my female was conditioned going into breeding season, and my male was too, and how I do things with my temps and all that, and shit, everything went according to plan. I had got eggs last year, but yeah, the shit, my incubator was not dialed in, and it fucked my clutch up. Clutch hit the fan. They died like 2 weeks in. Like one egg started dropping one after another.
Shit.
But
Huh?
was it something you did wrong? Like, was it temps or the eggs were just bad?
Nah, looking back, I think the eggs was perfect, but
Hmm.
I think pro placement was a huge factor. I think, and I also think lack of airflow for the eggs. To be honest with you, you got to get them things some air. It's like us. Humans need air to breathe, man. Sometimes not sometimes, all the times. I think shout out to my OG, my mentor Pat. I think the eggs need circulation during from day one during the incubation. And last year, my that clutch didn't have it. That clutch, I did it maybe along the ways of a little bit more new school than the stuff that I was reading about and learning about. You know what I'm saying? When I got in the green trees, so I kind of took it back to that a little bit of that this year, and that's when I had success with my first actual clutch hatching. But the first clutch was yeah, man. It's not all roses, man. It's like everything went fine with that female. She laid perfectly on time. It was like she hit everything where it was like um. Shit, let me in fact I got her file right here. Let me look at it. I'll read off her file. Yeah, she had her first sign of refusal, and She ovulated fine. She stopped. I mean, everything went fine. So with her, I think the eggs was good that she laid. I think I fucked those eggs up. I know I did for sure. But that's what the thing with green trees, man. You live and you learn, man. These some fickle eggs, you know. It's like any little thing, if you have it off, it can fuck up the eggs. So
Yeah, I hear like
snake breeder.
pretty much any little movement could like mess up like breeding or the snake eggs. Like anything. Pretty much they're like really sensitive animals or reptiles.
I wouldn't say they're sensitive. I would say if you once you got your animals down, you got a proper setup. Um, after going through the proper quarantine, of course, but you got them set up right, and your ambient is gonna play a huge factor in that too. Ambient tip. No matter how you can have them all on separate heat panels and everything, but your ambient is gonna play a huge factor. If you got a high ambient, your radiated heat panels are probably gonna be shit working too fast. You get what I'm saying? Working too hard to keep them maintained, or you know what I'm saying? Keep that right balance. So ambient gonna play a huge factor too, man. But I wouldn't say they're sensitive because once if you get a solid green tree python and you set it up right, and the person you get it from, you know you didn't follow their steps and you listen to how they tell you to set it up, you good. Now, if you're dealing with imports, that's a whole different another story, man.
Aren't they like? I guess Chuck was talking about it too. Like with imports, they're sometimes they can come in sick or something,
Yeah.
or with
Yeah,
like other things
that-
wrong with it. So I'm just like, I get it.
yeah, that's true. But I mean, um, if I get an import in, I treat it like a captive bred animal too. I think one thing that I'll always harp on is quarantine. No matter how good the animal looks, where you get it from, whether you get an import in or you get a captive bred animal in, and this is green tree python or boa or otherwise. Me, I'm always quarantine. Say if I get a snake in from one of my best friends, should I got no way? Don't even gonna say that. My snake I get in from my what's going on, MJ? Hey, yeah, I'm gonna be on MJ tomorrow too, by the way, man.
Hell yeah, bro. You grinding.
You know what I'm saying? This is my little rap tour. You know what I'm saying? I should have made an album cover.
When you and MJ link up, bro, you got to take that picture, bro. That should be fucking fire.
Yeah. Hey, all right. Tell them to pull up at Tinley. We'll talk about. We'll do something.
Bro, I'm trying to get to Tinley. I want to go to Tinley so bad, bro.
Going to go to Tinley.
Yeah.
Come to Tinley then. Why you ain't gonna come to Tinley?
I had to plan that shit out because I still got Arlington to go to.
You got kids?
No. Well, I do, but they're in Hawaii.
Okay. What's up, man? Pull up at Tinley October, man. You gonna see the whole bar room now.
All right.
Meet everybody in the chat though. But I'm getting back to this quarantine thing though.
Yeah, go ahead.
The animal I got from my OG, my mentor, Pat. Patrick, shout out to Patrick Holmes, the yoga man. So I got an animal from him, and it came here and it sat in quarantine for 3 months. It didn't get exposed to my whole collection. I NATO tested and everything. I didn't do that because I got anything against Patrick. I would suggest that anybody bought an animal from me would do the same thing. That's just a personal thing, you know what I'm saying? Protect your own collection. Like if you didn't spend the work, I mean, shit, and none of us getting these snakes for free, are we?
No.
Any of y'all got some snakes for free? Anybody in the comments got snakes for free? Snakes off being them? Just how they look?
You know what they say, bro. A snake for free has got its issues. So that you get a free snake, you better quarantine that shit regardless.
You know what I'm saying? But
I'm gonna say I did get a snake for free. Actually, now that I think about it, I got that 8-ball. It had a kink in its neck, so they couldn't sell it to me, so they gave it to me. But she grew out of the kink. Like she doesn't have it no more.
Have you bred her successfully?
No, she's not ready yet.
Okay, cool. But my point is, we work hard for our money. You know what I'm saying, to spend on
Yeah.
these snakes and these enclosures, and to do what we do and shit. Why not protect that? Even if if I'm getting a snake from probably 4 snakes next week, they gonna go into quarantine, and then probably that's from my blood brother. So that ain't got nothing to him. It's just shit. Okay, so I'll tell you why I say that. So it was a snake that was the sire to this clutch right here. So the person who bought that animal, shout out Mikey Marsh, he he purchased that animal, male, good in good condition. It got sent to him, and during shipping, FedEx, I think one of the labels got removed, so it got lost. It was lost for like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I'm saying? So then when it came from I think Cali. So it didn't shit with a heat pad. When it came to Chicago, it was here like 60 degrees. Cool overnight, you know what I'm saying? But not something that you could sit a snake in for 2 or 3 days. Well, he came to him had a respiratory infection. And when he left there, he didn't. But he got that in shipping.
Mm-hmm.
So it couldn't, nothing on the seller. The seller did everything he was supposed to do. But, if Mikey Marsh didn't have a proper protocol, he wouldn't have been able to catch that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you gotta put a bulletproof vest on your collection. You get what I'm saying?
So real quick, while we're talking about quarantine, right? So even if it comes from Patrick himself, you're sticking it in quarantine. And it's, again, like we specify, like it's not against the breeder, right? It ain't got nothing personal to do with it. We're not saying
sure.
like, hey, you got something wrong with your collection, I don't trust you. But like I'll even say it, like the retic that I got from MJ, I put her in quarantine because we don't, to explain to people that don't understand it, because obviously you've worked with imports, like that's really where this starts when you bring in something brand new, like the protocol's even stricter. But
Correct.
it's a lot like COVID with some of these diseases and viruses that we're up against in snakes, where we can't see that they're a carrier. If they're a carrier, they don't have no signs or symptoms of it. They're immune to it. They carry it, but they could spread it and we don't know it. And there is the rare chance that I get this retic from MJ and all of his collections carriers, or this one section of them are carriers, and the rest of my retics are not immune to it. They're not carriers. They're prone to the virus or disease, and they catch it, and all of a sudden, we're fucked. You know what I mean? Like we're chasing. Well, there's a chance that some of these things will wipe out your collection, and it's send them to the vet. Like here goes your investment. Send it to the vet and bury it the next day. You know what I mean? Like quarantine's very serious.
And I don't even know where you at. So where you at living wise in comparison to MJ? Because I know he out in Cali.
He's in Cali. I'm in Arizona.
Okay, so not too much of a weather change, drastic weather change, but still different climates. You still got to shit. Something might happen in shipping. MJ could be have that thing rock solid. Could be not showing anything. Maybe shipping stress spurs something in there. You know what I'm saying?
And here's the thing too, right? Let's talk about shipping, right? So when they're shipping, they're going in. My box was right next to another box. I even messaged MJ. I was like, hey, just out of curiosity, bro, did you ship to anybody else in Phoenix? Because there was a box that looked identical right next to mine, but they had the logos up against the wall. So I didn't know who it was. I was just curious. And he was like, no. So that was a live animal sitting right next to my animal. Who's to know what that animal next to my animal is carrying? How do we know that FedEx ain't opening these boxes and resealing them? There's just so many variables. You never take that chance, right? Now, I'll be real with you. If I had gone and picked up the animal from MJ, maybe I consider not doing it, especially if I'm going to stick it like where I stuck it, if it's going to be separate. But, there are rules and things to it. If you're going to get it tested right away, you might be able to jump ahead. And speaking of that, let's talk about testing, right? Do you test everything?
Yeah.
You test as many things as possible on the market, right?
Yeah, and the way I started testing everything, you got to do that because shit, you gotta Man, you just don't know, man. I ain't gonna say I test for everything on the market. I don't test for cryptosporidium in my animals. I test everything for nidovirus though. I do because
What
that
stops
seems
you?
to be that seemed to be something that you know just going back to the old school. That seemed to be something that was a major factor with the OGs talking, especially that's something that I've gained knowledge with of my show. I never come on here and gotta tell y'all that I know everything about green trees. You know, I my aim to be learning some new shit every day. And talking with these a lot of the OGs, the guys I got respect for, they didn't have the testing that we got right now.
Mm-hmm.
So animal gets sick in their collection, maybe catching they blowing bubbles or something. They just think it's respiratory, and then the animal dies, and they just the stigma too back then with green trees was like they didn't live long, like they didn't live longer than 3 or 4 years if you got one. This was coming from a buyer's perspective because we had like exoterras and shit. So talking a lot to these now they can like what we see now with nidovirus and the current uh generation going forward, they're they can go back and say, yeah, now that I know this animal got that because, or this animal I might have had this in my collection because this happened, or I was noticing this with this set of animals when this animal got bred to so and you just creating that dialogue. I think viral testing your collection, whether you getting boas or I don't know how it is with the monitors because I dive with the monitors a little bit. We can get into it later too, but I don't know how it is with the monitors, but I think any snake come in, man, you need to test it for something.
Mm-hmm. And how long do you what's it called? We
How
were
long
just
does he
talking about it.
quarantine?
Huh?
How long does he quarantine for?
Yes, quarantine. There you go. It's not.
Yeah,
So if I
hold on.
get
Let's in depth that question real quick because I got that on my. Let's go deeper. What is your quarantine process? Let's start from the time that the snake comes in. You cut the box. Either you do your video or you stick. What is your process? You come home from FedEx, right? You pick it up.
okay,
You know what? Let's start at FedEx, bro. Let's start at FedEx because I've even heard some people are superstitious about this stuff, right? So you're at FedEx, boxes in your hand. Let's start from there.
after I get on my ID, first thing I do as soon as I get back to the car, open the box, check to see if the snake alive. That's the only thing I do. See if his tongue flickering, alive. You just do a visual inspection. Take it out. If it's in the bag, that can be tricky. That can be tricky because it might talk about the bag. But usually you get in snakes and maybe in a click container so you can see it. You just want to make sure the visual, make sure it's alive, make sure that they got holes in it so it's been able to breathe, get some airflow in there. It's packaged right. It's packaged nice. It's not all sloppy. All right, cool. So we as soon as I do that, when I do that visual inspection, I take a picture of whoever I got it from. I send it to them. Let them know, hey, I got the snake. It's cool. It's
Okay.
alive. It's healthy. I'm on my way to ride home. Get warmed up. Um, First thing I do when I get in the house is preventamite treatment has already been. It's a little square. You cut it into a little 2 inch by 2 inch square. Put some Pam on there. I call it preventamite. But I do the little the Petco spray bottle, the brown one, where you
Okay.
spray it in the cloth and for mites, and you rub that through their body. I usually do that for that's usually the import protocol. I'm not usually checking. I check. It's like a visible check for mites on captive bred animals, but I'm not usually doing that for captive bred animals.
Okay.
So either way, the setup is the same though. After I do my visible check, they don't have mites. Say they don't got mites, everything's cool. Um, what I do is I put them in green trees. They go in a tub with one perch, a puppy pad at the bottom, and a water bowl. And the tub is not big; it's small. It's probably maybe 14 inches long by maybe 10 inches high, something like that. Depending on the snake. Obviously, if it's a bigger female, then I'll go bigger. But the point of that is, I just want to be able to see that snake. That snake sits in my room. It don't get exposed to my main collection here in the living room. If it's a captive bred animal, it's probably gonna be 3 months. So I'll do 90 days. With imports, I'm gonna do 6 months minimum. Sometimes I do longer. As far as like video and all that, Levi, I don't do that video shit. I don't believe in taking pictures of after that initial picture. I don't like taking pictures of none of my animals or posting pictures of none of my animals until they've gotten out of quarantine. And I got a strict quarantine. Ain't nothing fancy in there. It's a water bowl, and it's a perch, and you gotta survive that for 3 months or 6 months. Ain't really. It's like a boot camp.
Pretty much. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a boot camp. You gotta survive that. And it ain't nothing torturous or nothing like. Well, I keep them in stable conditions, with a night drop and all that. But it's more or less just to keep my eyes on them. I like as soon as I wake up in the morning, look, check on them, make sure the water good. Let me see if when imports especially, let me see if because you can treat for the mites, but then the mites like pop out a couple of hours later. I had that happen too before. And the mice was popping out. And I looked up and there was black bugs walking around. I was like, wait, I know we ain't got no roaches in this motherfucker. What's going on here?
They're like, damn.
And they just you look people up in there, they just chilling on their nose and shit, just walking around. Hey, motherfucker, we here. So I'm like, nah, man, y'all gotta get up out of here, fam. So but I wouldn't have been able to see. You know what I'm saying? But
Bro, I'm terrified of that, man.
Now, hold on. Before we get any farther, I'll leave this question. I'm curious. Why don't you take pictures? Why don't you do videos or anything before they come out of quarantine? Is it a superstition?
Because I've did that before. And then I would say, damn near every animal I took a picture of, like, the fancy pictures where y'all might see my concrete in the background or something, that motherfucker died.
Oh, shit.
It died before I posted the picture. Or one time I posted the picture and the damn thing died up right after that. And this was so what it usually is a nido test. Say I'm getting an animal come in like Tuesday or something, I probably nido test that Thursday. Give it a couple of days to settle in, let it get warmed up, let it drink something, and then nido test it. And I'm sending it off the next day probably for overnight. And then from there, I'm not feeding them nothing, especially with imports. I think with imports, you got to make sure that they hydrated. Because these animals, they come from a long place, man. They come all the way from shit being snatched down out of trees and shit. So you gotta keep them hydrated and keep a close eye on them. But I'm superstitious about that. Every animal I took a picture of and I posted, I put it on my story, died.
All right, man. I get you though. I got you. Yeah, it's a secret until it's ready, bro. I got you.
Oh, you pass quarantine, then I feel like 3 months or 6 months, then you good. Some animals I had in the animal that had mice I had in quarantine for 9 months.
Oh, for sure, especially with mice, bro. You don't play with that shit, dog. Was it an import?
Yeah, it was an import.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no. Oh, no, man. That stays like it ended up on the goddamn roof, bro. I'd have put that motherfucker in a different house at that point. Oh,
no,
man.
She good. She good now. But see, I wouldn't.
It's not the animal. It's them fucking mites that scare the shit out of me, man. Because that coming off a wild animal, like, okay, a captive bred animal, my heart's going to go, right? My heart's going to speed up. Like, fuck, we got mites.
Yeah.
Nothing to play with. Coming off an import, bro, that shit's like fucking doing meth, bro. My heart's fuck. What does these mice have, bro? We don't know. We're not there. It's scary, man. Then dog, man, I already got.
Bro, just talking about it, like, yeah, I'm like, I don't want that shit.
I'm like ready to check my animals, bro. I'm like, let me go get the mite spray. I ain't fucking playing right now. Like, no.
Man, look, when you play with them imports, you gotta have very strict protocols. That's not something I would tell a breeder ground like, hey, you know what? Yeah, go get that up. Nah, beginner, not a breeder. My bad. But yeah. I would definitely say if you're dealing with them imports, have you a vet, get you a very good relationship with a vet and let him know that, hey, look, man, when I come up in here, I might bring 10, 15 animals in here. I don't want to get bent over a barrel all the time. Let's work out a nice agreement where I ain't paying $350 every time I step in it.
Yeah, no, that's facts, man. So,
but the truth is, I kind of every import I get in, I don't expect that, but I expect to have it. I never. Okay, I guess the better way to say that is when I get a captive bred animal, I don't expect to have mice at all. I don't expect to have no mice at all. I don't. That's why I don't treat for it. I don't expect to have that. But I keep my circle small from who I buy from too. You're not gonna see me sourcing a lot of animals off random people.
So like when you talk mites, you can get them anywhere though. So like expos, you can do expos, and then get them there too on your clothing. And then when you go home, you want to touch your animals, right?
No, that's
so
for
what do you
some.
do?
Yeah, expos for sure. That's one thing. I ain't been to no expos in a while, since pre-pandemic, like 19. But yeah, when I came back from the expo, I definitely as soon as I walked in,
Yeah, that's what I
get
do
in the
too. Yeah,
shower.
get in the shower.
These things go straight in the dryer. I mean, wash it, then get in the shower.
yep, 100.
That's exactly what I did yesterday, bro. I went to
Yeah,
that
that's it.
expo.
You gotta do that as your protocol because, especially if you got, I give y'all this. It's a lot of ball pythons at these shows, but
Hmm.
if you take your time and look, it's some real nice ones. There's some real nice ones, but you got to be selective.
Yeah.
And sometimes you might want to hold them or something. Hey, let me see that. And if they cool, they'll let you. But you gotta, yeah, man. From them shows, especially from them shows, you can not hold nothing. Some could have hopped over somebody else. You bumped into them.
Yeah, you gotta treat fucking mites almost like you treat COVID, man. Like you can't play no games because whether it's a gathering, a fucking even like a demonstration with the Arizona or whatever local game and fish. Anytime there's any other reptile outside of your collection present, like you have to treat it the same. Like if you interact with the animals or the people, if you shake hands,
Yeah.
those mites can transfer from clothing to clothing. Like I ain't even gonna front with you. I ain't gonna say where they came from because I'm still not definitive. I'm blaming the substrate 100. I am gonna say fuck. I'm blaming the substrate 100%. I haven't had mites in years, bro. Like I've been like 2.5, almost 3 years solid. Not even a scare.
Yeah, same. That was like about 5 years ago with me.
Out of nowhere, bro. One of my fucking boas, I see this little black thing crawling around, and fucking threat cotton delta pops off, bro. Everybody's on paper towels. Treatment's up and down, and this one was bad, man. Like
So how many boas you got? How many ground based animals you got?
Hold on, 1, 2.
He has a lot. See,
15 boas or so.
See, and that's the thing with them boas. If you had everybody on Coco and all that.
I was using a combination of peat moss and cocoa.
Oh, so you gotta take everything.
Oh,
you
gotta dude, I spent hours, bro. Everything got dumped. Everything was clean. If I find one, bro, like let's say even if it was just that one boa, I ended up finding out multiple, which terrifies the shit out of me. Thank God everything is clear. Been through the rigorous quarantine process. One of the retics had them. It was threat con delta, right? But multiple snakes had them, and that's the thing too, because there wasn't a lot of them, but they had them in just small quantities. So like you've seen an infestation, right? Through your time in the hobby. Like you pick up a snake, they've got a black line here that's not the pattern. They've got them up underneath the eyes. They got them up inside the nose. They're running all over the body. It's one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen in my life is running into an infestation.
Well, I never seen them in honestly, I never seen an infestation. I never seen mice on any other animals but green trees. So that first, I only dealt with it once. But what I know about it is like, it seems like the eye is like detached from the body. I mean, like not from the body, but like it seemed like there's an extra layer inside there.
Yeah, it's almost like it's swollen, right?
Yeah. Okay. All right. So y'all got that too. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen them to where they're coming in and out of the nostrils.
That too.
Like they're so bad, they're up in there.
And that girl had him by the vent too. She had him by her cloaca.
That's it. Yeah, there you go. Anywhere that they can find to get up underneath the scales or almost inside, wherever they're going to find blood, right? Because they're not going to find them. They're not going to get blood from outside of the scales. The scales are impenetrable, per se, right? They got to get up underneath them or get inside of somewhere sensitive to get the blood out of the animal. But I've seen it to where a friend lost control of his collection. Thank God we got on top of this. But I have seen an infestation to where there's a black line of them up underneath coming in. It's horrible, right? It wasn't to that
level. Damn, so you talking about under the snake's
yeah, right up underneath the chin. Yeah, right where it splits and it folds.
Yeah.
There's a fold right there. So one of the first things that I do to check for mites, I'll pull them out, and that's the number one area I go to. That's where I've always found.
Yeah, I know that spot, but you said it was completely all black. So with the black was just all mites?
Well, all mites just layered up, bro, just waiting to take their fucking turn. How does how the animal lived through it, I don't know, man. You talk about one of the most resilient animals on the planet, I'm going to say reptiles. But we got control of his infestation, but mine was nowhere near that, right? I'm talking one or two, maybe up underneath the chin, one or two running up and down the body. But all of them had those numbers. So I was like, that doesn't make sense because nobody has mass numbers yet. So where did this come from? It tells me the substrate, right? Point being, anybody can get it, though. Like, you fucking victim of circumstance, bro. So you walk through an expo. Anyways, where I was going with that, it led me on to some deep research, right? Because now that the industry's growing, right, we're pushing it. We're talking knowledge, research, scientists are involved, all kinds of shit. When I first read about mice, there was not all this available information. It's basically go into threat con delta, treat everything, get rid of them. We think this is where they come from.
Wait 2 weeks, do it again.
Yeah, kill all the eggs. Turns to find out, man, so the eggs can travel by air. The eggs can be knocked off and you can pick them up anywhere. And mites the same, man. They can travel a really long distance, like room to room, right? I'm probably going to scare the shit out of you, brace for impact. It has been proven they will travel from room to room. They will travel from almost house to house looking for the resource.
Crawling or flying?
By crawling. They will crawl from place to place.
But that's scary, cool, though. Right? That gives me if they flew, that'd be more scarier. But crawling, that gives me some comfort because if you got a strict quarantine process. So what I was going to ask you is, now that you said that you got that from you pinpointed that back to the substrate.
It's the only place that makes sense.
How do you quarantine new substrate coming in now? What do you do? Do you bake everything, or how do you do that?
So I got away from it because I wasn't 100% sure that it was a safe product, or maybe I was potentially poisoning my snakes with this new mental or whatever that's coming into the industry. So I started baking most everything. But if you don't reach a certain amount of temperature for a certain amount of time, to the point, it's actually been recommended from what I read that you do treat with some kind of natural pesticide or insecticide, whatever the word I'm looking for is here, because it's not guaranteed. It's just like bed bugs, right? When they do a heat treatment for people, I don't know if you've ever been to the hood, but everybody got bed bugs at some point. Like, it happens.
Well, I'm from there. I'm from them trenches. What you mean, man? I know I have bed bugs personally, but I've been in the buildings where people every week you see a new bed outside. He's like, I ain't gonna live in this building no too longer. Mama, why they keep putting their new beds outside? Why they get a new bed every week outside?
Nasty
motherfuckers.
Bed bugs, bro.
It's like that, man. But did you know you can pick up bed bugs from a bus, from somebody's car, from just about anywhere, right? You brush shoulders.
Movie theater.
Movie theaters, it doesn't matter. If you don't know they're there, you're not looking for them. Mites are the same way, man. It's not if, it's when, basically. Like, you're going to run into it or be face to face with it. But the way that they travel by air is, if there's a gust of wind, they're light enough that they do become airborne and they're pushed off. And how far they travel, I don't know for certain. I don't know that the size of the bug is possible to stick them in a straw and probably shoot them out of a straw and see how far they go. But when you're at an expo or you're with a friend, they travel from anywhere.
It's about spin shooting mice at people.
Hey, you know what? Never mind. We not going. Anyways, the heat treatments. I read that there is no guaranteed temperature. They don't have something for certain unless you're going to bake it to upwards of 300 degrees, right? But then at that point, you're igniting your substrate. It's too hot to bake it.
Right.
So you got to bake it for an X amount of time. That time, they still don't know for certain how to kill everything, including the eggs. So they just so I was doing it the right way prior. Now I'm right back to it. I'm right back to do I have it in here? No, I've got it in the chemical shelf. So I got little kids, so all my chemicals and shit go into a lockbox. Like I got a lock on it and everything.
Smart.
Permethrin 10. You can buy from Tractor Supply, any tax supply store, and you just dilute it. You dilute it per gallon, and then you can put it in and you can spray it, or you take it straight out of the bottle and you dilute it per gallon that you're putting in the container.
Bro, so I also heard Listerine.
You said, what was that called?
Permethrin 10. Okay. I'll text it to you.
Did you hear me? You can also use Listerine, but the regular one.
I would not use Listerine.
Not the food coloring one. Not the one with the blue or the green dye, just the regular brown one.
What's all in Listerine?
Alcohol.
What else?
Shit off the top of my head, I don't know. But you want me to go grab a bottle, I'll tell you.
Yeah, and then cross-reference that to what is and isn't lethal to animals, or what can or can't poison them.
The original is not lethal to animals.
That we're aware of. We don't know what's going on inside the animal. That's why permethrin scared the shit out of me, but I cross-referenced everything out. Everything is usable for snakes. There's nothing that they're going to absorb that's going to harm them. Listerine, think about it. It's designed to break down bacteria, foods, all kinds of crap that's in your mouth. You really want to put that on your animals?
Well, not on the animals. Not on the animals. I'm talking about like cleaning their closures, tubs, stuff like that.
Fuck that. Just use regular rubbing alcohol and let it evaporate. It
still evaporates, but I mean, I'm just saying that's what I'm using it for, is to clean the tubs.
I use permethrin on the animals. So what I was getting into, so when I use this, right, Keno, when I'm soaking my animals, I will do 1 gallon of water in the tub, and if that 1 gallon is too much for how small the animal is, for them to be able to stay afloat, I will put something that's been pre-cleaned in with them to be able to get up on. But that way I'm diluting it enough that I know my animal's not taking in a lethal amount of this toxin. And I also pre-hydrate. So I will stick them in a regular soak with clean. I use Reptisafe. I don't know what you guys use for your water, or if you just get bottled water. I use
Reptisafe. I feed it though, but I don't use it. But I got you though. I pre-hydrate too.
Yeah, and then I'll have them drink. I'll watch, and like I'm weird about it. I'll make sure they drink plenty of water before I soak them in any kind of chemical, because I don't want them ingesting that, because we still don't know. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, that's my mice. So I've been through this all. I'm down to the very last one. She had one running on her about a week ago, and I think it was an 8. So I've got her.
Oh damn! So this was some recent that you're dealing with. Okay.
Oh yeah, dude, I just got over this. Like I will never use that substrate again. I'm back to Aspen, and I'm going back to pre. Okay. So I'm going back to what I was doing, which my streak was flawless. Whatever works.
Have you tried Dawn? You tried Dawn soap? Soak your animals in Dawn soap?
So I was actually talking to a friend. She's a geneticist, right? Is that the word I'm looking for? She's got massive degrees. I asked her about that, and she said, "Don't." Yeah, she's got all kinds of degrees out the yin. Very, very intelligent individual. I asked her about that.
She said, because I asked him because I'm talking about going in. Obviously, you're gonna pre-hydrate. Say you soak your animal for a couple hours before that, so your animal is fully hydrated. So, what would she say the negative effects would be if your animal doesn't drink?
If your animal doesn't drink, if you rinse your animal off after they've soaked in the Dawn hand soap, then you're good to go. But if that dries, it's a corrosive, right? Like we may not be able to see it on the microscopic level, but over time, it's starting to corrode away at their skin. It's going to dry them out. Basically, that pre-hydration that we're doing that for nothing, because what they're hydrating in, that soap is soaking out no matter what the layer, like that spot's going to be dehydrated. They're going to have dry spots. You'll see it a little bit. Maybe over time, you'll start seeing rough sheds, stuff like that. Like it's just, she advised against it. In the mite treatment, because it offers it basically breaks that water bond, right? Mm-hmm. Makes it to where the mite's going to fall off. In that occasion, yes, but on hand soaps for soaks, I'm against it at this point.
Oh no, for soaks, no. I was talking about strictly for mite treatment.
For mite treatment, 100. Yeah, I put a drop in there with them to get the mites off, and then let the bug kill it.
For soak, no, you just get straight water.
Yeah. How long do you soak for?
If I'm doing like just a normal soak, say if a female is soaking or one of my males are soaking, just like bi-weekly or monthly soak, maybe about an hour or two, and I'm
Okay.
flush. I probably run that water maybe 2 or 3 times. But the females I do a little bit longer, especially if I got females that's coming into breeding season. I do my females a little bit longer. I measure the water to probably about 78 to 80 degrees, and then yeah, I'm soaking them probably for about maybe 2 hours. And I'm pouring that water out. Probably do it 2 or 3 times within those 2 hours.
Okay.
But if I'm soaking for mites, as soon as they come in, I'm soaking about an hour so they can drink. And when imports, usually they're gonna drink a lot. And I actually wanted to ask you the same question to Jeff about the permethrin 10, but just to tie this loose end. Yeah, after the mite, say if I got an import, I soak it for an hour, and then after that, I'm soaking the pipe for about an hour and a half with the Dawn solution. I get it real bubbly. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's after I've pre-treated. As soon as I came in, I did my process of wiping it down. But I wanted to ask you too. Have you seen any since using that permethrin 10? Have you seen any neurological signs of your animals? Maybe a few animals acting different or so.
No, I have never seen. That was my biggest thing. Right? Was I was terrified of neuro issues, and this boy. Do you have fucking stuck shit? No, it's substrate. Ooh, scared the shit out. Sorry.
Bro, that's a ball python, isn't it?
This is a ball python. Oh, through all the background.
Because
So, this guy has been with me from the start of my getting back into reptiles.
He said you got 14 boys. You pull out a damn ball python.
right.
Let me do something.
right.
Right, you supposed to pull out one of your head albino labyrinth that's purple, something, and all that.
He
Purple
said
tiger,
head al-
whatever
No, you
that
gotta
shit
see.
is.
You
Or
got to see
Aztec,
MJ
one
for
of
the
them Aztec
purple.
boys.
You got to see MJ for the purple albinos, bro. So this boy has been with me for going on 4 years now. Has been through several treatments from the jump. When I first got into this, we did struggle with it a little bit, buying from shops and making ill decisions.
Yeah.
And then I treat. I don't know if you do this, but I treat as if I have mites, right? Like I will go through. I'll do a spray once every 3 weeks. So not once a month, but a week shy of a month.
You do that with the permethrin 10?
With the permethrin 10. I'll spray the substrate down.
I kind of do a deep clean about I say about once a month.
So he's been with me the entire time. Been through every treatment. Has got exposure to permethrin on the regular.
Tell him Edens, man. What the hell is he doing, man?
Not on the regular.
He got one of them Petco specials.
Absolutely no neuro issues at all. And he's been through several soaks of it. He's been through the ringer. He's been with me the longest, and he's a good fucking animal. Eats fucking better than any other ball python I know.
Did he catch the mice too or no?
This round, no, but he's been through a treatment just to stay.
Okay.
Treat everything, right?
Yeah, all of my collection's been through a soak with it, even all the way up to the mainland.
Yeah, once I saw the mice, I can't. My next round of soaking my shades, I was doing the whole body rub down there to make sure to give them a nice shower. And I do that with my green shades too, man. I take them out. I'll take them while they're on the perch, just stick them in the shower.
I mean, I could. Do you want to see a leopard gecko or a dinosaur?
He's gonna bring on a leopard gecko.
There you go, Levi.
Easy petty.
Look at that.
There you go. Look, you see that snake? What kind of boy is this?
Stuck on the cord, bro.
Damn it, would you get off the fucking cord and just get around my neck? It's a normal.
Okay.
Just a really, really high-end normal. So this is what really gets me about boas, right?
You say it's a high-end normal, so what is it hat for?
It's not het for anything. It's just a high-end normal.
What makes it a high-end normal? School me a little bit.
These colors, right? So again, I'm pretty fresh to the polymorphic stuff and the line traits and everything that goes into boas. Because at first I was thinking, right, like you look at this tail and the color pops. I don't know how well my camera's going to show. It's probably not going to do her justice at all. But I was thinking like some kind of pastel.
Oh, he said not going to do it justice. Sound like a ball python breeder.
No, don't even get me started. Anyways, I'm gonna fuck around and get canceled by the ball python community one of these days. But I was thinking, I hit up my buddy and my mentor Chad. I was like, dude, like, tell me this isn't some kind of pastel. And he's like, no, bro, it's high end normal. And I was like, high end normal, help me out. And he was explaining to me what line breeding and everything goes into boas. You can get Colombians fresh off the boat that are super colorful, packed with high contrast. Would you chill the fuck out, dude? He's gonna whoop around. This girl's flighty as shit.
So this is a captive bred animal, or did you buy this as an import?
This one, to my knowledge, is a captive bred animal. It came from a boa breeder in California, but it wasn't tracked back down. This animal was surrendered to somebody, and I took it in as an opportunity.
Okay.
I wanted two boas with nothing in them. No known heads, no known visual morphs, not line bred, just to be able to have normals to start my own lines with.
Kind of like a fake Dinka project.
Basically, and she turned. I looked at her and I was like, you know what? She's got something going on. I'm going to take her, and my hunch paid off. So if I take a high-end normal male, right? So if I find a male with the same colors that pop, same crazy tail going on, no known morphs, no known heads, I can start my own line, basically like an FTL line of high-end normals, and it's basically polymorphic. Like it's going to transfer the high color contrast, the clean. So pattern.
now when you say start your line, so when you get babies from that, how you gonna work them? Are you gonna sell all of them, or are you planning on keeping all the babies back and then really like doing some line breeding to hone in on those patterns? And you know what I'm saying?
When I stick with this, right? Chris, take me off soul, motherfucker. When I stick with this, right? I'm gonna hold everything back.
I was admiring the snake, bro. The snake was so gorgeous.
Dude, substrate scares like any little piece of substrate scares the shit out of me right now. I'm gonna hold it back, right? I'm gonna go 3, 4, 5 lines before I even put it out to the general public. I'm gonna hold everything back. There's gonna be no there's going to be no question about it. Like, I'm going to have multiple generations to prove that my line is the line now.
That's smart.
It's going to take time, but it's totally worth it for the plan that I have with her and all the other boas. And then eventually I'll start working. I will, I think at generation 2, when I can prove that I do have a line, I've got 2 solid litters. All of them are identical. Everything matches up. I can prove that high contrast is coming out, prove the colors are popping, get all of my ducks in a row. Then I'll add in Molly. I'll add in something to bring out and see if I can combine a color morph with my line to make a combination, and then start working things from there.
Chavo, what up, Chavo? My dog. But yeah, that's good though.
Speaking of ball python breeders,
because that's the same thing. Honestly, when I do what I'm thinking about doing long term with my cyclops. So I got so many cyclops animals.
Let's talk about that in green tree pythons, right? Because you guys deal with a lot of line breeding, right?
Yeah.
Or would you say, are you guys more are you line breeding, which is quote unquote polymorphic, right? Like, well, not quote unquote, but it's a polymorphic line of animals without being a polymorphic morph or a color morph, right?
You gonna share that shit, Chris? Fuck you.
I have to, bro. That shit was funny. Come on now.
Wait to interrupt.
No, I'm fucking with you.
We're about to drop some heat. Chris over here bringing up the fucking
go ahead.
So you got the line polymorphic, and then you got the polymorphic morphs, right? Like the color patterns and things that come out. Which side are you guys working more? Are you guys dealing with that line to where you've got a normal, right? It's just a normal. It doesn't have any known heads, any known color morphs in it. It's just a really sick ass normal that you guys are trying to hold what that normal has to offer in the animal and keep that going, right? If not make it better.
Well, we don't really got like normals and green trees. So with the green trees is it's more locality specific. You got localities and then you got designers. And designers basically is just a long history of localities being bred together. And from that, some people have line bred, some people have inbred. Now, just from talking to people, I guess they inbreed for different reasons. Some people do it, trying to make the craziest, insane as like clutch of animals. And then some people, just try to get that one and they'll be like, all right, cool, I got that one, and then try to make their line off that animal. Where with the localities, say if you're working with a pure localities, you pretty much know what you're gonna get. So say if I'm breeding sarongs to sarongs, you know what you're gonna get outcome wise. That's why you got people like Travis or my dog Adam, but specifically Travis because he picked out a certain type of green tree pythons from the sarong locality to breed. So with localities, it's easier to pick animals, a mother and a father, and have that translate to babies. You get what I'm saying? Because you know what a pure animal is, a pure quote unquote. We call it pure, but they probably should be labeled as locality types, like sarong type, because there are so many interpeninsulas within that set of animals within that city. So yeah, we can go that the green tree shit can get real confusing. You know what I'm saying?
No.
To the novice.
So I don't know about anybody else, right? But did you ever stick with colubrids when you got? Let's pretend this a little bit. When you were working with the corn snake, did you ever get heavy into colubrids? Did you ever really introduce yourself to the community and understand it?
No, I didn't. To be honest with you, no. I bought that animal that was just like my rebel buy. Like, my mom ain't let me have no snakes. Fuck this. Buy my snake. I got me a snake. Damn it. This is my house. I pay the bills, and this is my snake. Damn it. You can't tell me don't have no snake in my house. That was the only reason for it. But what I did was I did go home and do a bunch of research on the animal. So then I just threw it in the cage and was like, yeah, I got one. I raised it up for 3 years, and it was I bought it as a little worm. So I named it George, you know what I'm saying? So I raised it up, and it was hard getting rid of that snake. But I never would fully went into the colubrids. It was just more what I dived into was I like to consider myself a master of the basics.
Okay.
So what I did was I just mastered the basic husbandry of that snake. And that was it. Just, care for that snake. That snake was a snake I took out once a week, maybe no, not once a week. I'm lying. Probably 4 or 5 times a week. I would walk to the store with it. I had a corn snake on my neck, and it was 4 or 5 feet. And I would just have it. I would have it at the park. I have a kid, so I have it at the park going down the slide.
Yeah, that's your cold. Yeah, bro.
So my dog,
I was trying to pretense that, so I didn't want to. I didn't want to assume, right, that you hadn't been in the colubrids, but this is where I learned my locality stuff from, right? So with the corn snakes, rat snakes, Joe, I don't know if you're in here and want to jump in the comments on this. If you still are, you're a rat snake breeder, so I hope. So with colubrids, right, there's 2 markets. You got your locality guys, and then you got your color morph. You have no idea where this snake came from, right? It came from the USA.
There's a designer, like we got in the green tree designer.
So so it is easy for me to relate back to that because the locality guys can tell you almost what fucking tree this snake came off of at what time and why it looks this way, right? It's crazy. And I understand why these guys get so mad because they can tell you that. But that ball python, I can't tell you what.
I feel like that was Cyclops. I ain't gonna lie.
You know where that snake came from. You know what city. You know
I
what field.
Yeah. I ain't gonna say I know exactly where it came from, but like you tell me like, is this a Cyclops? I could be like, nah, it's not. By this and by this and by this and by this, but
But so because somebody at some point went, all right, so this I can do it with my long nose here in Arizona, right? So I have found and taken pictures, and I'm starting to develop my own little self study, right? My own little project to figure out my locality of long nose.
okay.
There are certain parts of Arizona where there's different colors, there's different patterns, there's different headstands, and I mean this is Arizona, right? So we're going to take the United States, we're going to zoom into Arizona, and we're not just going to zoom into Arizona because that's where a lot of it stops, right? Like, oh, I got this retic from Indonesia in this one specific state, right? This big old chunk of land. Now you can even hone that down. Let's go city. And then we can go county, then we can go city, and then we can almost go, like, to make it make sense to other people, we can go zip code, right? So like 85383 to 85301 is going to be apples to oranges. And even going 85382, which I'm to this point now, I've got enough of the 85383. Now I can step into 382, and then I can go to 381, then I can go to 380 and start breaking down the different colors, patterns, and stuff that are coming out of this very specific area. And then I could even we could, if we really have the time, which it could take years, we could probably break it down to what park it came out of, what line, if you will, right, where mom and dad started, like really backtrace these animals. And that's what these locality guys do, bro. So you guys do that in green tree pythons, like, respect, bro. It's a fucking line. I understand, but I get why the locality guys. But it's big in boas, right? Boa locale. Oh man,
And they do, and not just localities in green trees. They do the same thing with the designers on the green trees too. That's something I pride myself on. So back then, when I was like studying and doing all my cramming and reading on green trees and like anything I could find, you start to see like these long ass lineages with these weird names, and it's like Mr. Blue and Aqua Girl and all these weird names, and you start thinking like, what the hell is these names? So then you start digging, and then the lineage tree is kind of like dogs. They go back. Some of them go back to like the 70s, and you just read them and read them. And see me, I prided myself on when I heard a green tree python name, because names are like, if you know, in the green tree python community, the names are important. You know what I'm saying? The names are important. So when I prided myself on when I hear these specific names, all right, I know that that's this bloodline and that goes back to this and this and this. And that was just something I took pride in, whether it be with knowing that with the localities or the great or with the designer shit. And I didn't learn all that by myself, man. I got to give Patrick, my OG, a lot of credit on that. He helped a lot of that, especially like the last 5 or 6 years or so. So crazy as well with the county localities. Yeah, and that's crazy how you guys are going to be able to break down animals that come from a damn zip code.
oh man, oh dude, Jeff done
Yeah, a zip
opened a
code.
whole. So there's two
But you know how
communities.
you understand how game changing that would be in the green tree python community if you could get a green tree python from the wild with a zip code attached to it.
I mean, you probably have to go back and backtrace lineage and all that stuff. Or, I mean, really, like, if somebody put their mind to it, right, you could, and this is my problem with imports. Like, and when I say imports, I don't mean wild caught per se. I'm talking about bringing animals in from different countries. We don't have the ability as regular keepers like you and I, right, to fly to Indonesia or China or fucking Africa and go into these countries and go into that zip code, right, to pull that.
Oh no,
animal out.
I did though, because I one time, like a few years ago, I went to the green tree python. I went to the Cyclops Mountains, and that's where they gave me my crown. They bestowed the true crown upon me. I stood up at the top of the mountain and I looked over the peninsula, and they was like,
So you went to your homeland.
They was like, you are the one true king, and they put the crown on my head, and I was bound down on Cyclops Mountain.
That's fucking cool, bro. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's badass.
Nah, I'm bullshitting.
I was like, what? I was like, damn, that's badass.
I was like, damn, you're living my fucking dream. But right, let's say we could do that, right? We could go to. Is it Cyclops Mountain that they're from, or were you just making that up? What is Cyclops?
So Cyclops Mountain is in the Jayapura range. So if this makes sense, all Cyclops are Jayapuras, but not all Jayapuras are Cyclops. Because you got a mountain that's at a different elevation than somebody will give you some shit for that Cyclops Mountain crown comment. I've been saying that shit for like 5 years. That's been my running joke. But you got the animals that at different elevations. So usually you're not gonna get an animal that's a red Neo from the elevation, that's not in the Cyclops Mountain range. And you can usually tell a red Neo. I mean, you can tell a red Neo from a yellow Neo Cyclops. And I've seen enough Cyclops where I think I can tell a red Neo Cyclops from a red Giant.
So, are you guys able to see this?
Yeah, shout out to Cyclops. That's the
Yeah,
Cyclops
this is the
Mountain range. Yeah.
This is where you were crowned, technically, right?
Yes, I was. So move the arrow over a little bit. Yeah, right there. I was right atop that mountain right there, and it was like, you are the one true king. And then it sounded like James Earl Ray, the dude from Lion King. He came out of nowhere. He was talking from the sky.
That's awesome.
So this is the mountain, or I guess, do they come from a specific part of the mountain, or can you find the Cyclops basically 360 around this mountain island, if you will?
I think the wild card animals are in that range area.
Okay. So for any,
it's a couple more pictures too. It's a couple more pictures that'll show you. It won't show you. It'll show you not from the water view, but it will show you like the densely populated area.
Okay, like this right here.
Yeah. There, and there's one more too. Cause I got all these pictures I got on my page.
That's pretty cool. Sorry, man,
Yeah.
You got me fucking locality nerded out now. Like it's game on.
Yeah.
So for anybody that's wondering what the Cyclops Mountain is and where the Cyclops locality,
That's in the
right?
Jayapura,
Am I saying that right?
It's in the Jayapura. Yep, it's in the Jayapura region. The Cyclops Mountain range. It's in the Jayapura region of Indonesia.
So you guys are doing exactly what I wish. I know BOA locality guys have been doing this, but like I wish it stuck and the entire community did this. But this is where that snake is from. This very specific not designer, but desirable
Locality. Yeah.
locality is from. Like you go here and you find it in these mountains. It's not just you go out and pick it off of some random ass tree in whatever area.
Yeah.
Like you have to go to this area.
And Dr. Daniel Natusch, if you can pull up his Instagram page, he got a Cyclops Mountain locality animal that he has. He photographed at night and is hanging off the tree hunting in a Jaipur range.
Okay, hold on.
And it looked exactly like some of the animals on my page. That's why I should always share that animal a lot. So Daniel Natusch he's a doctor, and he's done a lot of studies on the green tree pythons, and he's been instrumental in breaking down the subsets, especially like the last, I'm gonna say 10 years or so. So he goes out there and he's in the field with it. You know what I'm saying? He pull up over there off the boat. He in Kofi Al on the Kofi Al Islands, Biak Island, Sarong Island, Batanta Island. He's taking pictures of these animals at nighttime in their natural habitat. And he got some Cyclops on his page that look exactly like what I got.
For X-Men, Scott Summers.
What was his name one more time? It was Dr.
Daniel Natusch, Natusch, I believe.
I thought he was gonna say Dr. Doolittle.
It might be on your Instagram as Daniel Natusch.
Hey, can y'all hear them talking in the background?
Natusch.
Can you hear them talking?
A little bit, but it ain't distracting or nothing.
Oh, that's why I keep muting myself because I don't want it to mess up the pod.
No, you good. So what's your quarantine like?
Same thing, about a
Like
month.
what? About a month? Okay.
Chris is that meme right now. You guys quarantine? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, okay. Hell no, dude. I quarantine. I still have my other
Okay.
ball pythons I
So you
just
said
got still in
Levi, you
quarantine.
saying Chris don't quarantine, huh? That's what you
No,
said.
he does. Honestly.
I was like, what? No,
I will
he's,
forever be giving Chris shit.
bro. If I did a quarantine, trust me, this guy right here and the Geo in the comments would give me some shit. Hella
Damn.
shit.
Geo quarantines?
Geo doesn't quarantine. He just puts them outside.
What?
He said, what? So I got another question.
Take it something back.
We asked this to Chuck. I'm gonna ask it to you. So what is your take on U.S. art?
That's cool. That's a good question because I just talked to Veronica. I think the 2 days there too after y'all talked to her.
Yeah, Vanessa? Yeah.
Yeah, Vanessa. I'm sorry. Um and shout out to Vanessa. She was a cool individual, by the way. You know what I'm saying? She answered some it was some tough questions, especially I know I had some tough questions for her that it wasn't personal in any way. It's just I wanted some answers to. And she didn't lie. She could have sat there and gave me some fluff like, yeah, well, so and so. But when she said she didn't know nothing, and she said, that's above my head, I believed her. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to her for holding it down in Arizona. I think Arizona. I think Arizona. I think USR got a. They can be a lot stronger. I think they do need us. I mean, far as the people, like what you talking about, what you started with the Ann Arbor situation. Ain't no excuse for one person to show up, man. I'm sorry. And this is from a person that's not a USR member because to be honest with you, just give me my straight up honest opinion. I want to see more from him.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? I want to see more. I'm not here to be a petty person and say give me your W's compared to your L's because I know ain't shit in life perfect. But I just would like to see more, especially on the state representation level. And I know that's probably gonna take people like Vanessa who can donate their times separately. You know what I'm saying? Not not be looking at check for it. And that's another thing too. Everybody looking for a check these days.
Mm-hmm.
But if we can get somebody that can represent on the state level, at least one, I think it'll help our side. I ain't a person that point the finger. I always look at self first, point the thumb, see what I can do. You know what I'm saying? And I think after talking with Vanessa, I think is a way that me personally I can be a better person and a better um silent ambassador on behalf of USARC. But there's some things that I would like for USARC to add and change too. And I think I probably would like to. There's some questions that probably like 5 or 6 questions that I didn't ask Vanessa that I think are probably maybe more suited for Phil.
Okay.
But I'm not. You're not gonna hear me bashing USI because if you got one company that's trying to do something for us, that's cool. But I'm not gonna tell you that like I'm 100% in on them. I still got my questions.
I get it. Definitely get it.
Alright, so my stupid ass fucking Instagram is not going to work on my computer. I don't understand this. Um,
Damn it.
but Gio, or here, I'm going to post his Instagram in the chat so everyone can go check it out and hit him with a follow.
Yeah, he a cool dude, man. I've talked to him. I've sent him pictures of every Cyclops that I had. I sent pictures of him, and I've asked him like, just cross wrestling, for instance. I'm like, I know you see a lot of animals in the wild. Can you tell me what these look like? What are you seeing with my animals compared to stuff you seen in the wild? I've dealt with that with him multiple times. So yeah, I definitely cross reference some animals that I'm getting from my importer, and a lot of my animals check out to what he was saying.
So, real quick, before we move on from the USR thing, I am curious. So, if you don't mind answering this question, what would you like to see more of from USR? Because, I mean, with all due respect, right, I don't know how much more they can do, because you look at what just happened in Ann Arbor, right? Don't take my anger and frustration towards you personally. This is towards the situation.
Hey, before you go on with Ann Arbor, I agree with you 100% on that. You can't tell me one person. You can't tell me one person showed up, bro.
This ain't the first
person.
One person.
Where
because I'm not even a USARC member, but when I see the alerts, I didn't see the one for Ann Arbor. But I'll be honest with you. I sent an email. I send that. I do what they do. When they came to Illinois, I sent the email. You know what I'm saying? So for only one person to do that, I mean, you telling them people that you don't want no animals. So I agree with you on Ann Arbor. More than one person just showed up, man. Plain and simple.
Bro, it's sad. That's what happened in Georgia.
Go ahead, Levi.
Well, first and foremost, respect and thank you for putting in that contribution to the community, USARC, and everything overall, right? Like, you can't do much more besides being a member of USARC. So, I mean, if you're doing that and you have your holdbacks and whatever your drawbacks, and you need to talk to Phil, you know what, man? As long as you're supporting us in our alerts and helping push being a responsible keeper, that's good enough for now. You and Phil talk and let me know what the results of that conversation are, because I would love to see what comes of that from both perspectives. I would love to see.
And I'm not even a standoffish guy. I'm gonna reach out to him, but I just want to get clarity and seek more knowledge and all. That's all. Be a more knowledgeable member of USI, to the point where maybe you can sway me into it, and then maybe possibly I can, as my kids get older, I can maybe go donate my time for Illinois or something,
No, absolutely, man. And I mean, from my outside, I'm not Vanessa, so from my perspective, man, if you want to get to know USARC, right? Because Phil's going to be he's hard to obtain, but it's possible. It's just going to take time. Man, walk by the booths. Talk to anybody that's involved. Reach out to Daniel too with USR Florida, right? I don't know how deep into Florida you've gotten. If you've just seen the stuff that Donnie's posted on what's going on in Florida, if you've just seen the here and there on your Instagram pages, but like, look at this fight that we have in Florida, man. Because if you want to take, I know they're separate, right? But I look at them.
No, see, it's like, I know what you're saying, but I look at Florida as kind of like its own like USI, because it's like so deeply rooted already. You get what I'm saying? And maybe that's what I'm looking at. I'm seeking that we don't have yet, as it hasn't been able to reach its tentacles as far as I would like to yet.
Okay, so you want to see like a USR Florida in all 49 states? Am I getting that correctly?
I ain't gonna say all 49, because I don't think all 49. I don't think we represented all 40. I don't think it's a big population of snake keepers in South Dakota.
Okay, so let's
Dakota. But I think let's see.
Let's let Samson talk.
But I know we got some in Alaska. But say we got 40. You get what I'm saying?
So we'll say the major metropolitans, right? So, and like,
then within those 40, you got a couple that's paid not to volunteer in their own state, but volunteer in neighboring states that maybe have like a small number that maybe they can be over this region, that say over North Dakota, you know what I'm saying? Something like that.
Hold on. Let me reply to Gio real quick. Hey, there's 49 states that do not have a USARC designated to their state. Sir, sit down and pay attention to the conversation. that was too easy. Anyways, but no, okay. So I see what you're saying. So like, let's say we got the Arizona Coalition, right? The closest thing that we're gonna have to an Arizona USARK, like USARK Florida.
And they like right up under it, you know what I'm saying?
Right. So you want to see like the coalition, let's say, is now USARK. You want to see them like, let's say, go to Nevada, right? Because Nevada, I don't know why they have a super show. Because I'm gonna just come out and say this. I think we have a stronger reptile community in Arizona. So you would like to see those two representatives go help out in Nevada if something pops off, right?
Yeah, but see, you got a strong. I know that the reptile community is not as strong in Arizona as it is in Las Vegas, but shit, you still got exotic keepers out there. You know, the climate is right for them. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Shit, they still need representation, and that's what I was kind of getting at. I know that the Las Vegas situation a couple years ago, where long story short, basically, a lady made a remark that it would have been easier. It would have been a lot easier to get the exotic pet / think whatever it is law that was passed. It would have been a lot easier if she had field on board. So then now I'm not completely knowledge. I don't have a complete knowledge of the backstory. Completely, I'm ignorant on that. But she made that statement. I just kind of wonder, like, damn, I feel if she's saying it would have been easier for you, for her, if just for you to get your input. Why didn't you get your input?
See, okay, you're gonna have to put me on game. What is this situation? Because I've never heard about this before.
I don't got my notes with me. Because I got notes on that. I had to go dig. I didn't know we was gonna bring that up.
Oh, no, you good?
It was a. I think it was a ban on wild on exotic pets and / dangerous animals. I think about 2 or 3 years ago, maybe 21 or so. And there was a lady. What's her name? I think Lindsay Ann. She has like 3 names. You know how people got them with damn hyphenated names and shit. I don't know, but I don't like talking off something if I don't got my notes with me, because I feel like that's ignorant and stupid to do, and I ain't have them on hand. But the gist of it was, she basically said that it would have been an easier fight. She ended up getting it passed and getting certain animals on that exotic list passed and being able to kept as pets. But she said it would have just been a lot more easier if Phil would have hopped in on it.
Okay, yeah,
and that was like a public statement she made.
You're gonna have to put me on game and like some resources and stuff. I could look at that because I don't recall it, and I'm not aware enough to speak on it. But I am aware enough of Phil to just be hesitant on something like that, because I've seen time and time again, man, all these things that come up. Like, we have a USARK representative, like even somewhere as small as Ann Arbor, right? Ready to kick that door in and like, let's go. Like, there's a representative there, USARK is there, we're ready to go. But the problem that we see as a community, I'm curious if this was a factor in it. Like, yeah, it would have been easier if Phil himself was there, maybe, or the representative. Maybe there wasn't a representative because there wasn't enough noise made. Whatever the case is, I would love to know more. But it sounds like it's going to end up being one of those where we just saw in Ann Arbor, where we saw, and where was it, Chris? Georgia, right? Where the Tegu ban went down, where we have this legislation being passed, and USARK is there, they're doing their part, but then 1 keeper shows up, 2 keepers show up, 3 keepers show up, and it's like, you're up against an entire board here, and you got 4 people, 1 legal representative, and 3 keepers. Like, it never turns out well, because people, a good part of the industry isn't paying attention. They're not looking at these alerts going, okay, cool, this ban's happening, let me show up, let me take this PTO, let me do what needs to be done to protect this industry. Because I hear people all the time, oh, I want to go full time, right? Oh, I want to do this. I want to be a blogger. I want to be a podcaster. I want to do this. I want to do that. Then my follow-up question is, are you a member of USARK? No? Okay, well, you need to change that, because I promise you, when that ban comes, you and every person that you talk to from here forward needs to be a USARK member to protect your job at that point. Because this is volatile, man. This is so volatile. Tomorrow, the government passes the Lacey Act. How many people are out of job because we can't keep these animals no more? How long until The podcasts are done. How long until? Well, we ain't got new. We can't get new animals.
But I also think that's why USARK to strengthen their hold on things. I think that's where they could come in and offer reptile insurance on their own. Or you can come in as USARK and say, okay, cool. All our members, all their animals have to be tested before they sold. Viral tests.
Okay.
What I would like to see is, okay, we usually, like in the green tree python community, we got two main people we use for viral testing. We use Fishhead at the University of Florida, and we use RAL in Texas.
Okay.
Why isn't USARK partnered with one of them? You get what I'm saying?
Can I ask you an honest question? Have they gone to USARK to be like, hey, can we partner up?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just creating a dialogue. I'm just creating a dialogue. That's all.
No, for sure. No. I appreciate it. I'm just playing devil's advocate on the other side. And
I'm
not trying to argue.
They Levi, real talk shit. They might haven't.
But what you're doing here.
I think what that would kind of like strengthen that. All right, so we've. Whether whatever half, say it's RAL half or Fishhead. All right, we've strengthened with USARK, the United States leading reptile representative. Boom, we got that stamp of approval. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying USARK is USARK bad for not going to them, running to them. I think literally they should be together. Like when you go to USARK. You should see support viral testing. When you go to whatever viral testing, you should see support so and so.
Okay, so you want to see a partnership? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I feel that. That's absolutely yes, 100%. Now, as far as like requiring something goes, right? Like when you say USARK should require the viral testing, so that's not what they do. It's unfortunate. It's not unfortunate, but it is unfortunate to like the perspective.
That should be. Personally, this is a personal opinion. I think they should require that.
Okay, so you're not wrong. I support this 100%, but I think this is where we got to draw a hard line, though. We got to cut USARK out of that because USARK. This is the biggest misinterpretation of USARK, and I do think that they can do a better job.
And I don't expect them. Trust me, I don't expect them to run around being a reptile police.
No, for sure, 100%. But even to dabble in it, right, there's a lot of controversy that goes into it. And this is where a lot of misinterpretation comes from. And I think they can do a better job of putting this out there is drawing that hard line. So we need to leave USARK in its little bubble here. And we as the industry, what we're on now, right, we're already doing this. And we're not really talking about this part of it. We're stepping us up, right? Now we need another lobby. Like, and I know you said they're not them, but we do need like a reptile police, right? We need an organization or a lobby that is going to start laying these like AKC requirements out for dogs, right? Like if you're going to breed retics, you got to have, you got to have this, you got to have that. If we're going to do this, like we need to hold ourselves to standards and have an organization on the legal side, not from the lobbyist government side, but from the legal aspect, to keep ourselves right and to keep this industry thriving and growing and taking it to another level that we've never seen before. We need a separate organization.
But I think if we only do that, we only playing defense. I think if we get somebody in the government part of that too, now you can play offense. You know what I'm saying? So, now you can attack stuff before you sit back and wait for that deflection.
Agreed. Now let me throw something at you, right? Because we were just talking about
Talk to me. Come on, talk to me. I talk back. What's up?
Right. Now, we as an industry, how do we do that, right? So I came up with this in respect to Earl at Lone Star Reptiles. If anybody wants in-depth detail on this man posts his number, shoot him a call, ask him how he did. We, as reptile keepers, need to educate our local game and fish. So I'm blessed, right? I'm lucky. I'm blessed. I'm whatever the word is I'm looking for. Arizona Game and Fish are cool with us. I can go up to any Arizona Game and Fish officer and have a conversation about reptiles. I want to see that infect the other states. I want to see every state on board with that. And the way that we do that is we got to educate them, because you walk into a lot of these local Game and Fish and the perception, it's not fair but perception is reality. That we're a bunch of hoarding fucking weirdos, bro. Like, and that's not necessarily their fault.
You ain't never lie, especially the
You got to
reptile
go.
people.
You got to go talk to these people as if they saw the Slither files, and that's their first perception on what we're doing.
Yeah.
And people walk in there and they educate and they open that door. Bring a thing of fucking donuts with you. Nobody hates donuts, my dudes. I promise you, my fat ass don't hate on donuts. Bring them a box of donuts. Open up that dialogue like we're having now.
Shout out to them big boys out there. You know what I'm saying? Them
We gotta-
BONs.
We gotta open up that dialogue. We gotta have those conversations. We gotta educate them. We gotta be non-biased. We have to be open-minded. We have to be the bigger person. When we walk in there, we're gonna get resistance. We're gonna get pushback. We're gonna run into that person that does think that we're hoarding fucking weirdos, and we gotta change that. We have to do the good hard work. It's gonna take blood, sweat, tears, and fucking effort, man. Earl's story is not one to be slept on. I promise you that Earl's been through his tribulations of working with his local game and fish. He was biased from the jump. This lady hated this man for no reason, but he walked in there, he stood his ground, he was respectful, kind, loving, and represented what we, all three of us, and every fucking responsible keeper is, and swayed him. Now he's a phone call away. I promise you, bro, Samson would be gone in Texas. Earl, the game and fish, anybody that's in fucking Texas that's a responsible keeper, we be saying, who the fuck is Samson right now? But he's in a state where they haven't done that legwork. They're not doing the testing. They're not doing any of these advanced cares that we're talking about, right? Where it's responsible keeping. And it's on us as an industry to go to these local governments, these local entities, and start just educating people, man. Most people will open up to it. They're going to listen to you or I because we carry ourselves well. We speak intelligently, and we take care of our animals. Arizona Game and Fish can come in here tomorrow. Right now, I mean, I got substrate on the floor. I got done cleaning. There's probably a shed stuck right next to the trash can because I missed my Kobe. But they ain't going to find those sick animals. They're not going to find animals sitting on 3 days worth of shit or 3 fucking layers of shit.
So how would you feel? How would you guys feel if we had our own reptile registry? So like a way to play offense. So say if you had a reptile registry, and this is just spitballing some shit, all right? But a way you had all your animals documented and filed, and you had the vet on hand for every animal. So when they coming to us and shit, and they try to, hey, well, so and so, look at your animal, we're gonna ban it here. You got your whole stack of paperwork. Hey, boom. This has been my biosecurity. This has been my quarantine protocol. This is how I work with animals. This is my vet right here. This has been my viral protocols for this animal. What do you think it would take for all us in the reptile community to start our own?
We're gonna have to move mountains, man. And I don't think that's too far away, to be honest with you, man. If I'm gonna tell you the truth, with the movements that I'm not gonna name drop, but there are a lot of things moving right now, right?
Because it's easy to play defense when we see bans pop up. It's easy to say, all right. Now it's easy to react to something, but how do we become the, you know what I'm saying, the one that started? So when y'all come to us, all right, boom, this here. We ain't got to send out a bunch of emails. Look, this right here. You gotta get out of my face.
No, exactly. That, trust me, me and you are on the same wavelength. I want nothing more than exactly what you're talking about, to be on, not just to have all that, but to be able to flip it, right? Be like, okay, cool. You came at me, my turn to come at you. You leave us alone, and I want these things changed because we have proven to you that we're responsible keepers. We're not these hoarding fucking losers you think we are. We're doing the right things.
Oh no, I'm a hoarder. I'm definitely a hoarder. Fuck you. But yeah.
But I mean, hold on.
But, not like Levi. Fuck the people talking about we hoarder.
We're not these irresponsible fuckheads that people think we are. We're not just letting retics run the fucking street.
Hey, Ian, I'm big 2A, so. I'm taking my guns, bro. None of my guns ever walked out the door and said I wanted to kill somebody. But that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah. So, that's not, man. That's the whole thing, man. Because we're not. a registry for animals, man, we're not talking about firearms. Yeah, we make it a little bit easier for them to come in and kind of know what we're keeping.
Yeah.
But the point is that they know what we're keeping. We're being open. We're being transparent.
All they gotta do is pull up your damn bank accounts and see where you zipping at.
Exactly. If they want info, they're going to get the info. Like whether it's legal or illegal, and we're up against Big Brother, right? Like they make things go away. But here's the thing, right? If we had a registry, and let's say in Arizona, right, we have an outbreak of, I don't know, what's something that's actually obtainable? We have an outbreak of tegus, right? There were a couple seen running around, but we got a tame on it. Arizona Game and Fish did the thing, respect, didn't bug us at all, took care of the situation. But let's say this started to get out of hand, right? Now Arizona Game and Fish, because we're being transparent, all of us responsible keepers are going to go, here's all our registers. I've got 4 tegus sitting in the back right now. All of them are in their cages. Here's, whatever proof that you need. And every responsible keeper comes forward, and Arizona Game and Fish goes, okay, pages 1 through 10, they all straight. We got on track of their animals. Hey, Joe Bob Smith right there on page 11, halfway down, he's got 6 registered, and he's only got 2.
He's from Alabama, by the way, because he got 3. He got 2 first names.
He's got 6 registered, but there's only 2 in his backyard, and he hasn't reported back to us in 9 months. What's going on? Knock, knock, knock. Oh, yeah, my tegus got loose. Okay, well, we're going to need those other 2, and we're going to go ahead and tell you that you are no longer allowed to keep tegus. I'm not against it. Why you got fucking 4 tegus loose? 1, I understand. And guess what? When we got those registers going and we got that report built and we're face-to-face and we're talking to our local officials and we know them, I ain't got no problem calling Arizona Game and Fish. Hey, man, fuck, dude. Look, shit happens. I left a fucking cage unlocked. My retic got out.
I didn't say that, Eden. You said that.
I need help, right? Imagine they come, they grab my retic, it goes back in the cage. I prove to them, hey, look, I do have a lock. I'm keeping right. Here's my register. I see where Keno's. I see where. Goddamn it! Am I mispronouncing your name?
Keno.
Not Keno. Keno. I knew I was fucking up. I'm horrible.
I could be dude from Minister Society too. That's cool.
It goes, hey Keno, guess what? You straight. You're good. I see your register. I see that you're a responsible keeper. Accidents happen. Don't let it happen again, right? And there it is. There would be nothing better. Because trust me, if my retic got out right now, I would love to call fucking Arizona Game and Fish. Ain't nobody going to find that snake faster than they are. It's all about the rapport, the build. And again, if we had that register, we had all these things that we're talking about, it makes that possible to build the rapport, to build that relationship. Because now we don't have a choice but to interact with these people. I understand that FWC has put out a bad rep, but let me counter them. Arizona Game and Fish, I can call them. I can go, hey, Arizona Game and Fish, I had an accident happen. Such and such animal got out. I need help. And I bet you they're going to help me find that animal to help protect our ecosystem. And they understand people are human. Shit happens. We're not perfect. Hey, guess what? I bet you if there was a register for fucking cats, they wouldn't be the #1 fucking invasive species on the goddamn planet. Because, oh, shit, my cat got out the front door. I was bringing in groceries. I got distracted with the bag of Cheetos. And I forgot to show them.
I hate cats too, man.
I do too. But the point is, it could be spun anyway. I'm fully on board with this, and I support your idea, and I think it's possible. I think it's a good idea. And I think building that report, like we're pushing, in that education in our local governments is so critical. Imagine if I could call Mark Kelly and be like, hey, man, your office in Peoria at this location is talking about wanting to ban retics, and I don't understand why, man. Like, can you guys help me out here? And this is another perspective that we could come from. Why are you guys pushing this? Okay, well, they're big and they're scary and they're slimy, right? We're just going to use a real basic example.
Yeah.
This is where that education comes in. Or green tree pythons bring in diseases, right? We're going to go to. Well, from my perspective, yes, they are big. Yes, they are scary from that perception. Let me change that. Let me bring in my retic. Or let me show you and educate you on why this animal is not as big and scary as people make it out to be.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Let me, and this is my conversation dialogue with the representative. Let me excuse Jay's prehistoric death real quick and his stupid fucking videos on YouTube. Let me show you mine. Let me show you me walking into my retic enclosure.
I'll show you. I'm gonna stop you there real quick. Let's pause and let's talk about that real quick. One thing I always was able to personally separate between Brian Barczyk videos when he had Chewy and shit back in the day, and JP Historic Pets was. I always felt like Brian Barczyk was just doing it just to have fun, just comedy, and I felt like Jay is a showman. Showman. I'm gonna say that. I'll say a showman.
It's all for the money.
Yeah, it's look at that, all that cheating shit. I ain't with all that shit.
Okay, neither am I. That's all Jay's prehistoric death. But facts though, right? Like, and that's let's talk about that for a minute, right? Let's really jump into this because you're right. Brian was doing it for comedy and fun, and he stopped though. Brian said, "Okay, cool. Well, if these videos are not doing the industry good, him and USR set the damn differences aside and he went bet. All right, cool. If that's not the perception I need to put out on camera, let me try something else. And now we are where we are." And Brian Barczyk.
So educate me there for a little bit. What happened with between you, Brian Barczyk, and USR?
That is not my place to speak on it because I don't know the 100% details. I would definitely ask MJ and see if he knows. I know he's closer to that than I was. I just know that they had a difference. They weren't getting along, and they ended up settling their differences during the Lacey Act, and now they're on the same page again. What that was exactly, I don't know, but I'm just using an example. The bite videos, right? The what am I looking for? Not clout chasing, but the hype.
Chewy put his face in there again and like biting him and all that shit.
So he stopped all that, and I assume it had something to do with USR. Regardless, it was to better the hobby. Now, if Jay's prehistoric death would do that, that would be great because he's chasing money.
He calls prehistoric death.
Yeah, prehistoric death. We're in this for the longevity, right? Because you love your green tree pythons. I love my boas. We're just going to use our primary animals here. Chris loves a gang of shit apparently now. Forgive the youngin. He's getting into multiple species now. He's bitten by the bug. Let the addiction set in, and eventually he'll pick one.
Bro, I'm getting rid of ball pythons because I got a new addiction.
But hold on, let me finish this real quick. So
I want to when he finishes, I want you to tell me what all you got over there. By the way, Chris. Go ahead, Levi.
Any responsible? I fucking use this word so strongly in this situation. Responsible, educated, great keeper of mainland retics knows those females are in a trance for, I believe, I might misquote the time, but I believe it's 3 days after laying the eggs. It might be less, it might be more, but there is a period of time when you can go in and take mom off the eggs. You're talking up to, we'll say a 21-foot fucking mom, right? You got the record breaker. We're dealing with wildfire retics. He's after the big monsters retics. He's got a 21-foot female, monsters female. Rip your head off big, right? But he's a responsible, educated keeper, and he knows better. He's bred her. She's on the eggs. He's on it immediately. You are able to take this big apex predator and get her off those eggs without a fight because they're in that trance. What Jay is showing off when he's, oh shit, look, she's pissed. Oh, I'm in danger. Oh, I'm a fucking retard. That's exactly.
Oh, look at that. She's going to take my face off any second.
Yeah, he's a fucking retard chasing money. Like, I'm just going to say it. And if anybody wants to get mad at me and cancel me because I called him a fucking retard, go the fuck ahead. Be my guest. Join the list of people that hate me. Because it is that. It's stupid. It's ignorant. It's uneducated. And it's fucking horrible. And any representative that's against us that's seeing these 340 million videos.
Chris, you itching over that, dog?
No.
Oh, my God. Are we back on this?
Is that why you haven't been talking the whole time, bro? You over there?
No, I'm letting Levi talk. I'm letting him talk.
Yeah, you know.
I was actually going to say.
I only saw your left hand with the snake on it, but your right hand, it did seem like your shoulder was kind of busy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But imagine.
I'm just checking for your health, dog. That's all.
So let me.
They got cream for that shit.
Hold on, Levi, real quick.
They got cream for that shit.
Hold on. Let me finish. Hold on. Let me finish my train of thought, and then we'll.
No, he in his bag. Go ahead, Levi.
Let me go 360 with this, right? Because I am getting a little hype. The retard was probably unneeded. Whatever. I have strong, angry emotions towards Jay's prehistoric.
Don't make it personal.
We have to walk into these representatives assuming that they've seen that viral 300, 400 million view video, and that's the first perception that they have a retake. So they want to change the law and ban them. because that's what they're seeing. There's these big,
True.
scary animals that can bite you and rip your face off. It's our job to walk in there and be like, hey, look, pardon my dumbass friend here. That's not how this works. When you're responsible, when you're educated, mom has this trans period where you can go walk in, interact with the animal, get her off the egg safely. There's no danger to me. There's no danger to her. There's no danger to us.
Right.
Get mom off the eggs. Put the eggs in the incubator. You wash mom off. You do your protocol. And you move on with life. And it's back to this tame animal where I can walk into my main lens enclosure. Aubrey Pruitt can interact with his animals.
But I think
Montana
if Jay did
TXM.
that, I think if Jay did that, Jay wouldn't have millions of viewers. Because
Exactly.
I've seen Jay on World Star.
Exactly.
Yeah, me too.
the point. But
You know
that's
what I'm
harmful,
saying?
man. He's
And
chasing
the
money.
World Star caption would be like, "What would you do in this situation?" You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're not going to be like, oh, okay, cool. So the boring, educated, smart way of doing it, they want to see the hype. But the hype is harmful because now that we're talking about representatives, right? We're talking about walking into a government office with a paid government official. But if that's the first thing they're seeing, man, that's so harmful. Perception
Right.
is reality. Their reality is that these 20-foot monsters that we love, well, I can't
Yeah.
speak for anybody else. I love my mainland. I have worked my ass off to keep her to not be the animal that Jay is putting out on camera. This is why it's personal to me. Let me get a little bit of quick pretense. That's why it's personal. That's my beef with Jay. Because
Okay.
when I go in, I want to talk to this government official, and that's what they're seeing on the internet that's harmful because that's their perception. Now I have not only am I up against somebody that has a bias towards my animals, perception is reality. I've got to change the reality. Now I've got to work 4 times harder than somebody that's just genuinely ignorant to the situation and doesn't know the difference between a 20-foot snake and a 5-foot snake. It's easy to walk in and be like, hey, you know what? Cool. You don't have any pretense to this. Yeah, it's 20 feet. It seems scary, but it's not. It's a docile animal. Here's some video evidence to prove that me as an educated keeper and responsible keeper can do this. Here's a video of Aubrey Pruitt. Here's a video of Montana TXM. Here's a video of DNT Retics. All the other responsible keepers. Yes, there's rotten eggs, but why don't me and you work together to get rid of those rotten eggs? But with Jay running around doing his damn thing the way that he does, it makes it harder for me. It makes it harder for Earl. It makes it harder for the entire fucking community, man. And that's why I get fucking pissed.
Yeah, Randy.
Because he knows better. At the end of the day, he's been in the game for 25 fucking years. He knows. He is a veteran. He is an OG. He is exactly the thing that we're trying to get rid of.
You petty, Ryan.
Did you see that? They went.
He said Frank Thomas.
Oh my god,
bro. Anyways, so
It's
back to
funny
this
'cause they
question.
used to
See
call
this
me that-
question
They
here.
used to call me that Lil League.
You see this question here? Yes, Travis. I was at that show. And speaking of that show, when you go in there, they were like, "What does U.S. Arc mean?" Like half of them people don't even know what U.S. Arc does or means.
So Chris, tell me about the San Antonio show. How was that?
It was actually his first time. It was small. It was the first time for that one. But Reptilian Nation is coming, Expo. They're coming to San Antonio, so that's the biggest one.
What kind of snakes did you see at that show?
I mean, they had a little bit of everything. They had chondros, they had green trees, but it was like a little bit, not a lot. They had mostly balls. They had file snakes, African file snakes, boas. I was with T5 boas. I was hanging out with him, and I saw Travis, and he just looked at me. He goes like this, and just kept walking by. I was like, okay.
What's up, man? Why you ain't go over there and say what's up to Trav, man? Trav cool.
Yeah, it wasn't.
you didn't say hi to Travis?
Yeah, he walked by me.
Did you say hi? Shake his
Yeah.
hand.
Why
Get a
you
picture?
ain't stop
I did.
him, man? He
He
probably didn't see you, man. He probably didn't see you.
No, he saw me. He looked right at me, bro. That's why he asked that
That's all you
question.
did was that.
But I had my shirt on though. I had the Sexin Flexin podcast shirt on.
But you got to understand, Travis gets terrified when he be around a lot of white people.
Well, next time I'm next time I'm gonna lay down and just fall right in front of Travis. Be like, Travis, it's me, Chris, bro. What's up?
You gotta get it. You gotta. Hey, Trav, what up, man? What's going on, dog? Stop him, man. Next time,
Bro, I
He's a
was
big dude with the
sending
dreads.
pic boas to Levi because these boas were amazing, bro. Like they were freaking gorgeous.
They were cool.
And I was like, man, I bet Levi's jealous right now.
I've been eyeing the moon glow boy, if I be honest with you.
You would get a moon glow or a sun glow?
Nah, the moon glow. I like the moon glows because I like how they be like whitish gray as they get an adult age. Don't get me wrong, I like the sun glows too. I like the contrast of the sun glows.
So
but I
you
like
like
that whitish. I like that whitish gray on a big snake. But I would like the moon glow on the smaller snake.
Oh yeah, I was hoping. Yeah.
I mean the sun glow. Sun glows and moon glows are my favorite boas. So I mean, if I had either one, I ain't gonna complain.
Fuck, I done went on a fucking tangent.
All right. So let's let Keno, since he's been on for like an hour and a half, shout out whoever you want. Keno, go ahead.
Bro, we going on 2 hours. What you mean an hour and a half?
Yeah, almost 2 hours. I said.
Oh,
an hour and a half.
Shout out anybody. Shout out to the bar room, man. The bar room. If I can keep it a buck with y'all for a minute, the bar room is. When I started the bar room, it was not supposed to be what it is now. When y'all see like interviews with like these old school green sheet python guys dropping knowledge and shit weekly on us, I started that just to go live when my first clutch fucked up last year. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to give people, because at the time with the green sheet pythons, you didn't have people giving like a daily or weekly update on their eggs. You have people post, hey, I got eggs, and then they will post, hey, these are hatching. And I started the green sheet thing because I wanted to take people through my journey with me, good or bad. I wanted to let everybody know what I was doing, the good and bad, shit, to keep it a buck with you, and shit. I wanted them to go me. So at the end, when all my eggs fucked up, I found people were still asking, hey, dude, I know the eggs fucked up. I know the clutch hatch. That's cool, blah blah. But we need you to go live next week. When are you going live again? So I'm like, oh shit. And I hadn't got to the point where, at that point, at first I was nervous, but at that point where it was like it had came like 10 weeks in. No, not 10 weeks in. Probably like, what's that? Yeah, about 7, 8 weeks in, you go through that with the animals over 2 months. And then what I didn't take into consideration was these people these followers that tuned in weekly, they was building a rapport with me. And it had grown to a personal level where it was like, yeah, shit, we still want to see you though. And I didn't know how to deal with that. So Travis came on, shit, we made the bar room, and then Mark Hecker popped in on us a few times, and then Chuck had asked to be on, and then it just kind of took off from there. I say that to say again, I didn't expect that at first. I didn't expect to be talking to people in Australia and in Europe, and talking to people in Europe about Kofi art projects and all that stuff.
It's fun, right?
It is, man, because what I've learned is you get people that's keeping animals in different ways. Shout out to Jeff Hoshel up in Canada. You know what I'm saying? How he keep his animals. We got Noe who was coming up with different heating elements in a time where during the pandemic it was hard to get I don't know how it was for the ball python and the retic keepers, but with the green sheet python keepers, our shit is real specific. So a lot of the supplies that we were waiting for was on back order for 7 months. You get what I'm saying? And then rack systems, rack systems, and then radiated heat panels too, and then thermostats. And it's just been nice to talk to people and just see the different things, and then what they doing to just further themselves as keepers. And that's what we try to do in the CBR. The CBR, we just trying to make you a better keeper. Whether you want to breed or not, that's up to you, man. We're not telling you to go breed and go run before you know how to walk, or go walk before you crawl. But like I said at the beginning, I try to pride myself on mastering the basics. And anybody who listens to me will come up under me or whatever, I would tell them the same thing. Say, master the basics. Be a keeper first. Try to master the keeping. Know what your animals are like when your animal is not feeding, 2 weeks from feeding, and what is it moving around normal as a body is like. And but I would suggest that to anybody coming up in green trees, be a keeper first, because it's easy to say, hey, look, I've been keeping green trees for 2 or 3 years now. I want to be a breeder. But then if your male or female goes off feed, you don't got a substantial amount of time dealing with this animal. Know why is it off feed? How's it going to come off that weight wise? What is it reacting to around my situation? Is it cold up here, hot up here? How was my cages toward based around the circadian rhythm of the sun? Is it getting too much sun? Do the snakes know that? Shit like that.
God damn, bro, let's go.
And you got to be a keeper first. And I got wild caught animals, but I guarantee you 85% of the animals I got here, they was all raised from babies. I got imports that was raised from babies. I got animals that's captive bred that was raised from babies. I got animals that was traded. I got an animal that I traded for, and it was kind of like a sub of that animal when I got it, and I traded for it as a male, right? And it turned out to be a female. And when you get a female, you want to give her not enough space. The females usually they got the physical dimorphism from the male, so you can tell. Most species you can tell when they get to that breeding age. So with the green trees, we like to give our females a lot of space. Give them a nice ass enclosure. Every time I put her in an enclosure, she stopped eating, man. She stopped eating. I put her in the tub, she ate the next day. I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna put you in the enclosure. I put her in the enclosure, she don't eat for 2 months. Put her back in the tub, she eat the next day.
See, but that's I bet you got a female in an enclosure that'll eat though, right?
I got females. All my other females in the enclosure will eat.
See, but that one's it's an odd one, right? But you know your animal. You know your animal's personality, and this is what it prefers. By trial and error, you figured out it needs to be in a tub, not an enclosure. Respect.
And see, when I got her at 18 months, and I was trying to only thing focus I was on was just breeding her and getting her up to breeding weight wise, I wouldn't have noticed that, and I probably would have kept her in that enclosure and trying to feed her. Maybe she only ate twice a year, something like that. But me having that base of the MVF, and I'm gonna always fall back to that because the MVF and Greg Maxwell books that provided a base with you, like a baseline to have green trees. And of course, we've expanded from that to the point where we keep animals cooler than we used to. We don't feed as much as we used to, as big as we used to. Although I feed big, I feed my chondros big meals. I'll space them out though. But I don't feed mice. I feed exclusively rats. But we've expanded to the point where we spend on our keeping. They didn't have radiated heat panels back in the day. They had heat bulbs or ceramic emitters. So we got to expand a little bit of everything too, but not experiment. I'm not an experiment. I feel like you can expand and you can further the hobby too. But you don't gotta try to reinvent the wheel by doing that though. And I think stop trying to be all experimental and shit. Master the basics.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of on the opposite side, man. I like to experiment. I was told that grow tents was a stupid fucking idea and it would never work, and I was a dumbass for thinking it.
You said the what? The growth test?
Grow tents.
Okay.
Grow tents. I will tell you, my mainland is thriving and happy and has not escaped once.
Oh no, I don't mean experimental by that. No, so when I was saying like when I refer to the OGs, you always gonna have that baseline. That is how you do things.
Oh, okay,
And I
I got
was saying how as time move forward, we always, you always gonna expand. You always gonna grow. It would be stupid if we didn't grow. You know what I'm saying?
So don't rebuild your foundation.
Yeah, you had that base set. You have your base, and then move off your base. But if things get too fucked up, go back to your base. You know,
Okay, I got you.
that's
100.
all.
No, for
But
sure.
no, of course, if we wouldn't have real talk, dog, if we wouldn't experiment a little bit, we wouldn't have nano testing. We wouldn't know that our animals that have viral shit and die for no reason. We'd just think, oh, that was just the casualty of a breeding season, you know.
See,
Yeah.
Or
I feel like
we wouldn't have boy tests for boas, you know.
See, I feel like that the green tree mental needs to infect the industry because like you guys are thinking next level. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But I don't think everybody. The problem is, Levi, everybody don't think how I think, and I don't expect that to be the case. I'm not a dictator.
No, for sure. But there
But
is a certain influence,
I
right?
think we gotta open our we gotta open our minds up to things a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But
No, 100.
but you gotta practice some security too. It goes back to the quarantine thing. Don't break your quarantine because you think that the animal you had this for a couple weeks and the animal's doing fine at 8 and is shared. It might have been in share when it came and it shared out perfect and it's doing fine. Let it acclimate to your surroundings. Especially if you got an animal like me, for instance. My animal from Patrick, it came from Texas. It came from Texas to Chicago, completely on the other fucking side of the country.
I was gonna say that's a long trip, man. That's a
You
lot
know
of
what I'm
change.
saying? It come from being in like 102 probably every day. Sometimes up the upper 90s to Chicago. To 6 months out of the year, we at 20 degrees.
Bro, I'm like in fall, it's like 72 here.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like
that's
October.
hot, man. Well, then you talk about elevation changes and everything too. Like I feel like,
Yeah.
see, you're mental, bro. Like you could really infect a lot of people with that positive mental thinking outside the box, right? Because like you got my brain spinning, right? Like I buy local, but like you're right. From California to Arizona, there's elevation differences. The sun's gonna be different. The temps are obviously gonna
Yeah.
be different. The fucking air quality is different. You know, we got to think about that and give our animals time in a non-stressful situation to adapt. You're right.
Yeah. And
Just like with
that
everything else.
expanded thing has helped me I think in breeding to a point where it's gonna sound real weird, but it's like um something that and this is even 3 years ago when I was pairing animals and I wasn't getting nothing, no results. But something that I always have been naturally been able to do is for some reason I can tell when rain is coming.
Mhm.
I think this may have something to do with my asthma and my lungs. Because I think your lungs change when you especially when you got asthma, you get it in a humid environment. But I'm always be able to put my animals together and in like a day or two it'll start raining. But that's just something that shit I've learned with my animals and learned with environment and all.
Bro, I was gonna
Shit.
say, speaking of asthma, I saved a lady's life today. Like she was having an asthma attack. And she didn't have her pump. And luckily, I had one in the car, a spare. So I gave it to her. And
Damn,
like,
dog.
yeah,
Damn, dog. I appreciate that, dog, because I got asthma real bad. I haven't had asthma bad since I was 9. And man, dog, you don't understand when you having an asthma attack,
it's bad. Yeah.
you can't catch your breath for shit. It feel
Hmm.
like somebody just standing in your lungs and you like and you fighting to catch your breath, dog.
That's
I
exactly
really
what she was
appreciate that,
doing.
man.
Yeah, that was exactly what she was doing. And I was like, What do you take? A Buterol?" And I was like, "Because I have an extra pump in the car." And she's like, "Do you? You have it with you right now?" Like, but she was trying to get it out, but I knew what she was saying. And I went and got it. And she was like, "Thank you so much." I was like,
Oh
"Just
yeah,
keep it.
dog.
I got another one
Yeah,
at home."
man.
Good shit,
Yeah,
bro.
man. Yeah, I appreciate that, bro. Somebody deal with asthma. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Because it's like you gotta have that damn thing on you everywhere. It's like your wallet, man. You never know.
Bro,
Yeah, so
I got asthma from COVID, so I didn't have asthma. So like when COVID, I got sick, I got pneumonia, and I got the flu and all that. It closed my lungs up, so I have trouble breathing now. I take it so it opens up my lungs. It's a steroid, so.
Yeah. I take I take the same thing. I was born with bronchitis, but then I got over that shit. But yeah, when I was playing sports when I was younger, I just be running around. I could never catch my breath. Had to go to the hospital. And, sorry, frozen on the ground. What that supposed to mean, Travis? Look, Travis, I'm gonna tell you. Look, y'all. Travis is a reformed pimp. Okay, Travis is from Memphis. He's a reformed pimp. So why you talking all that shit in the comments? You know what I'm saying?
That's funny. That's funny.
He drive a Cadillac sitting on 22s.
Bro, I didn't follow him, so. But go ahead, Levi.
All right, Keno, I got a wrap-up question for you. We're going on 2 hours, 11 minutes. I'm getting text, so we're going to have to wrap this thing. It's been real. Been great. I see a part 2 in the future. If you could own one animal, you know what? That's right. I'm supposed to revise this. If you could own one mammal, one reptile, no laws, restrictions, nothing. You had a magic wand that made it work. What would it be? And it cannot be a Komodo dragon.
Damn. What? Why can't it be a Komodo dragon? I'm asking why.
Because everybody answers the same way, bro.
Everybody wants a Komodo.
Okay. I didn't know that was a stock answer. Okay. So on the mammal side, I'm gonna say Black Panther for sure. I followed this page. This lady named Luna, and I think she adopted a baby Black Panther. She raised it with a Rottweiler, and the Black Panther thinks her Rottweiler.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I seen that page too.
Bro, I be sharing that page all the time, dog. So mammal would have to be a Black Panther for sure. I would like that motherfucker just sitting right here like,
right? All badass.
Yeah. During the interview. If I would do reptile, damn, Komodo dragon that's my favorite. Damn, I didn't know that was a stock answer. I didn't realize that. Okay, I'm gonna say a reptile that's like banned.
Could be anything, man. Any animal. It could be a fucking king, western, fucking gray banded king snake.
I want to do another mammal. Oh, man.
Answer 2 mammals. Or you know what? No, I want to hear reptile, bro. I want to hear what reptile, what other than a Komodo dragon tickles your fancy.
I'm gonna give you another.
Bro, did you see what Travis put?
Cute midget.
He is an idiot. Okay, so my second mammal would be a monkey. I want a monkey.
Yeah, that's cool.
I want to raise a monkey. I want to raise a monkey from a baby and all that, and have it grow up like come in the house and be like, I had to make some weird sounds. And they come swinging and shit. Come swinging and come see me and shit. I want all that. I want to be able to build a room for the monkey, have ropes and shit swinging, and the monkey dangling.
Keno going to be on the Chondro bar room. Hey, no, knock it the fuck off. The monkey is not fucking food.
Hey, I'm gonna call him. The monkey come around, hop up here with the panther right here. Yeah.
You're going to be holding, no, you're not food. Stop. No, it's not food. No, stop. No.
I want like a baby capuchin monkey. Let's see, but the reptile though, it ain't gonna be banned. I wish panther chameleons could live like 10 to 15 years because I will have me a nice group of panther chameleons.
Okay.
They beautiful, man. I love the blue chameleons, dog. They beautiful, man. I just don't like the fact that they don't live long enough, man. I couldn't deal emotionally. I couldn't deal with that. With an animal that's it takes like so much requirement, so much care, and then like 5. I'm only gonna get like 5 years or 7 years out of that thing. I'll be hurt, man. Imagine having to do that every 7 years.
I can't, man.
It's heartbreak. Nah, man.
So they were selling some of those at the show, but I almost got a tree frog. I'm thinking about a tree frog now, bro. I think those things are awesome.
The spider frogs.
The tree frog has like the big giant red eyes. Is it red eyes? Yeah.
Red-eyed tree frog, yeah. Hey, hit up Pastor, bro. You just had some.
Wow, wow. You see what you started, Travis?
He said, I know I was dead laughing is what I
Yeah.
meant.
Look though, look. First off, we are not gonna disrespect the little people. I love little people. Shout out to the little people of the America and the world. I stand with you or kneel with you, whatever it is that you do.
Sorry.
I love those people.
What'd you say, Levi?
That's how we stand above them, but with them.
Oh, that's messed up.
I'm short, so I have a right. I'm like 2 inches away from being a legal midget.
I'm taller
I
than
don't
him.
know why the fuck I
How
had to
tall
be
are you,
that
Levi?
extra inches.
He's like 4 feet, 4 feet nothing.
Fuck you, bitch. I would be a legal midget, then I'd be able to cut the lines at Disneyland. Fuck off.
Well, that's why you said that.
I'm like 5'5".
You're still a legal midget if you
You
think
said
about
you 5'5". What the fuck?
That ain't a legal midget.
He's doing a video on the stool.
it. Yeah.
No,
No,
if I sit on a bar stool and I kick my legs, it's one of the funniest fucking things in the world.
You 5'5". Hey, I tell you, Chris.
I'm 5'11".
Oh, so I need a picture with y'all at Tinley.
Why, you're like 6 feet tall?
I'm 5'11". We the same height, man.
Okay.
So we gotta take a picture with him and like us side to side, and him in front of us, like he's our kid.
Right,
He
look
like,
down at Levi like that.
he like our nephew or something, you know.
The legal midget height is 4'10". Fuck off, all right?
We put our
I'm
arms
almost
on his
a
head. We put our elbows on his head.
Right? Be like,
I'll
that's
kick
Levi
you
right
all-
there.
I'll kick you guys in the fucking so you fucking short people.
All right.
I'm gonna walk up. Chris gonna have you like this, giving you a nigga.
Yeah. I told him I'm gonna do that shit to him. He thinks I'm kidding.
He's gonna pick you up, put you on his shoulder, spin you
Look at
around.
this. Oh my god.
What? Wow, Travis. Wow, bro.
He said the word curly way,
I don't
bro.
know what that means, bro. I do not know what that means.
Okay, before I ask my question, I want you to drop where they can find you.
All right, so I'm on IG is Wendy_City_ Chondros. It's Wendy City Chondros on Facebook, but I don't really be on the Facebook for old people. I be on
What are
IG
you trying
mostly.
to say? I'm
You're
on
old.
Facebook.
Facebook is for old people.
That's exactly what he said.
I be mostly on Instagram. Wendy _ it's just like my name on here. You can catch me on the ballroom every Tuesday night. You know what I'm saying? We holding that thing down, bringing Green Tree Python hosts on. Whether you new, and that's the thing with the CBR. We got the spotlight on you, whether you a young keeper and you ain't never had nothing. It's like your first one, intermediate keeper, or the OGs. You know, we cater to everything. We feel like you can come there, get your Green Tree Python feel. And that's it, man. On YouTube, I do my thing a little bit. I'm on Wendy City Chondros on YouTube, but don't really expect nothing on that. I use YouTube as more like a place to keep my documentary shit before I free up storage on my phone.
Yeah, and check out his snakes on his Instagram page. That's where I pulled the
But
snakes
yeah,
for the flyer from.
follow me on Instagram, man. Talk to me on there. Reach out to me if you're a new keeper. Think of me, man. I don't mind give you my time, and you ain't got to buy shit from me. You ain't got to buy shit for me to talk to me and get knowledge from me, man. I give you what I can, give you what I got. I'm doing that to eating his den, man. I'm trying to. I don't care who eating his den buy from. I'm honestly not encouraging him to buy from me. I don't want that, but I really want Eden's Den to just soak up as much knowledge as he can about green shit before buying. I just want him to be the best, you know, as well equipped as he can, you know, with the information that he got and wherever he get from.
Hell
My
yeah.
goal is to, you know, to make you a better keeper, man. So if you want to reach out, I don't mind doing that at all. But I might roast your ass though, so you better be ready to laugh.
Sound like our kind of people, bro. Let's go.
All
You
right.
might go with the green circle.
My wrap up question is: what is one thing you can change in the hobby / industry, and what would it be, and why?
Green tree hobby or reptile hobby?
Both of?
Green tree hobby or reptile hobby?
You said that's how official they are, bitch. You address them as the green tree community.
Well, I guess yeah. It don't matter wherever.
The green tree hobby. To be honest with you, I wouldn't change nothing. The only thing I would change, the testing protocol be a little bit more strict. But as far as if people if you wanna be strictly a breeder for money, man, do your thing, bro. That's you. If you want to breed for a certain thing, or if you just want to be a good keeper, do you. I ain't trying to change nobody, you know. And reptile hobby though, man, I will say this though, y'all keep up a lot of drama in this motherfucker overall. It be a lot of petty bullshit going on. It be a lot of, and I be seeing that shit. And maybe that's probably why the ballroom ain't went viral, because we don't react to that bullshit, and uh, when we encounter drama like we did in our last show, we step on that shit. And so me, it ain't gonna be no drama, man. So that's all I say. Keep the reptile drama out of shit. The people getting mad because I see people reptile Instagram accounts get canceled because they post a meme or some shit that don't nobody like. Look, dog, if you don't like something and somebody don't post it, keep scrolling. It takes more
Hit
energy
that
for you to stop.
unfollow button. It ain't that fucking
Bro,
hard. If you don't like it, don't fucking follow it. Why you following in the first
it
place?
takes more energy for you to either comment or to hit this, whatever you do to go report, than to just say, you know what, I ain't rocking with this person. Move on. I done had it happen to me. I done had to post some shit and somebody got mad because that person did them wrong, and they not realizing that person may be like an old ass man and off his rocker mentally, and he might not have it like he used to back in the day. But you're gonna take his flowers away because he a little off his rocker today. So nah, man, that drama shit, keep it to yourself, man. Stay away from the drama, though. Be drama free. Smoke
Same,
weed
Jeff,
every day.
That's facts.
Yeah, Levi ain't lying. Levi's not lying. I wish he was, but he's not.
Oh, I'm not. All right, man. It's been real. What a fucking episode. Sorry I went on a tangent there, but that was great. I feel like it was needed.
My snake says.
Wait, he said, who was on the OnlyFans as Tiny Pimp? Travis?
You.
Yeah,
I'm on OnlyFans under Flexin, baby. Flex.
You under Flexin? You know what I'm saying? Hey, come on.
We don't promote that bullshit here.
I don't know what he's talking about, man. Because he's one of my followers.
The fuck I am.
Whoa, what?
I'll show you all following right now. Don't play with me.
I'm joking, bro. I'm fucking with him.
What y'all got going on, Chris?
I'm joking with him.
Him and Gio are sus as fuck. All right, bro. You got to watch those two.
Why you say that?
Thanks more, Bradley Reptiles.
Why you say they sus?
Oh, you'll see, bro. You got them in the chat. You'll see. It'll come out eventually.
What do Eden be doing that sus? So I can.
Everything, bro. Everything. Everything.
Oh, just wait, bro. Just wait. You'll see. It'll come out.
Yeah.
It'll come out.
Minus the OnlyFans, yeah. Everything, yeah.
Y'all just had to start on. Damn, we almost went a whole episode without talking about OnlyFans.
Hey, I didn't bring it up that time. I didn't bring it up first.
I think every episode today.
It was Travis. Look, I'll show you. It was Travis. Watch. Where is he?
So that's what y'all on? Y'all some reptile freaks. This is the reptile freak show.
See, Travis brought it on. Travis brought it on.
Reptiles after midnight, man.
Okay, all right. Midget
Yo.
reptiles.
That's Travis' thing.
Little peoples and boas. Yo, wow.
Yeah. I don't know, man. On that note, y'all have a good night.
There you go, Chris. There's your new OnlyFans.
Right. Have a good night.
Eden said you sus, Chris. I just want to.
Eden's full of shit. Eden's full of shit.
All right,
don't listen to that. Don't listen to that guy. He's full of shit.
I'll see you part two in our future. You have a good night,
for
sir.
sure, man. Hey, catch me tomorrow on MJ show, man. I know.
Oh yeah, we'll be there, bro.
I'll be in the comments.
Make sure we're definitely gonna be there tomorrow.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate both of y'all for reaching out, man. It was a pleasure.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it, Keno. Thank you.
It's been a great episode. I appreciate you.
What's up? All right.
I want to thank the sponsors before we go. Yeah, one time for Keno.
Shout out to y'all sponsors too.
Yeah, I'm gonna shout out to my sponsors right now. We got
before we leave, I gotta ask you this question, dog. And I understand, I appreciate your loyalty, because trust me, I'm a loyal dog. I'm a loyal motherfucker. But you got them tatted on you, bro. That's a real tattoo. That's not a wash off tattoo.
No, look, I'll show you. Look, I'll show you.
That's not like one of them things where you put it on there, you put the water on there, and it just like, you leave it on there for 30 seconds, and then it come off.
Look, it's scarring right now. See, it's healing. And then I got CNB right here. And I'm about to get Reptile Crew, so I got something planned for them. It's gonna be a little tribal thing on my chest. So.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why, dude. I love the sponsors. Hey, sponsors were like, well, Ship Your Reptiles. I wanted to get theirs for sure because I love Susie to death. She's awesome. She's always been awesome, and she believed in us from the start. Like she said she loved the podcast. She's heard good things about me and Levi. So she was God forbid, like you and Susie have a fallout. Then what? If y'all have a disagreement or something, then you get it covered up you get like a bitter ex. You get it covered up or what? Well, see, this is why it's my reptile arm. It's gonna all connect to my reptile community. It's part of my path. You know, it's gonna be like my path. When I saw that in that one
episode, I didn't think that was real. I thought it was the water when you put.
Nah, it's real, bro. It's real. Yeah, it's real shit. Okay. But yeah, I'm gonna get, like I said, tribaled out everything. Yeah, he keeps saying that shit. The void stamp.
They ain't pay you for that.
Yeah.
They paid you to get that tattooed on you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they paid me to do it. They sent me the money, I used that money, and I went and got it done.
So you get a monthly stipend for this, or is this just like a one-time fee?
Oh, this is just once. Yeah, just once.
Okay.
I mean, that was cool, man. I love getting ink done anyway, so I'm about to get more ink done.
Yeah, I'm inked up too. I just wanted to ask that because I thought it was real. I mean, I thought it was fake. I got some neck tats.
It's strong guard, man. You girls tatted on you too. That you met at O's Locals. That's a female like lingerie drinking thing. Yeah.
What?
That's what he's talking about. Ojos Locos. That's what they wear when they serve you food. Is they serve it in lingerie. So you go to eat food and watch women in lingerie.
I feel like it's not women that they're talking about. It's a cover up, but we gonna move on.
Whatever. But all right. Shout out to the sponsors of the Reptile Crew, CNB Reptiles, KC Reptile Lab, SB Reptiles, Ship Your Reptiles. And then Blue Tongue Republic and Tactical Legion. And y'all have a good night, guys. Remember, stay positive, pick each other up, love each other.
Shout out to Tactical Legion. Big two-way over here. Keno, big two-way.
Fuck yeah. Let's go. Oh, don't forget, catch Keno in the trap tomorrow, Monday. What is it, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time?
Yeah,
Let's go.
Yep.
Trap Talk time, all right.
I'll show y'all how I build my AR.
Ooh, let's go.
All right.
Later, y'all.
Y'all have a good night, guys. Laters.
Peace.
Like, subscribe, and I'll